Anchorage Bucs and the Matsu Miners will tangle on a Wednesday as the Matsu Miners look to get back to their winning ways and continue their dominance of the Anchorage Bucs. Hi friends, Trey Yannity, Howie Boxey with you. Trey, not the result the Miners wanted on Monday night here.
No, for the first time this season, Howie, the Miners have lost 3 out of 4 games. As we take a look at the highlights here, Alex Vergara got it off on the right foot, a 2-run double in the first inning. The Miners would go up 4-0, but then the Pilots came thundering right back, and Carter Young here ejected in the 4th inning. That was a big shift of momentum in this game. A home run there in the 5th gave the Pilots their first lead, and Josh Pano strikes out to end the game. A tough loss here at this very stadium, Mulcahy Stadium, but a new team and another chance tonight.
Was a tough loss for the Miners on Monday as they look to get back to their winning ways against the Anchorage Bucs behind Chandler David. We'll have lineups, keys to the game, and first pitch as you watch Matsu Miners baseball on YouTube.
I see here we have some folks from GCI rooting the Bucs. Where you guys at? Make some noise.
Matsu Miners baseball is presented by Napa Auto Parts, Alaska Airlines, and RC Details. Welcome back, friends, to Mulcahy Stadium, where we are just about set to go. Matsu Miners and the Anchorage Bucs meet for the 6th, 7th time this year. Trey, what do the Miners need to do to get back in the win column? Let's take a look at our keys to the game presented by Napa.
Well, let's do it, Howie, as we look at yesterday's game. Saw the highlights there. They did a lot of things right, but they need to protect the bullpen this time and limit the amount of strikeouts in this game. Do both of those things, and you have a good chance at winning it.
First pitch comes from Owen Wild at 6:59. It's a fastball up and away to Casey Sunseri. As the 1-0 is fouled away, Casey Sunseri leads off for the Miners and plays third base. Miners in their green tops, gray pants, yellow lettering, and numerals Miners across the chest. The 1-1. Fouled straight back right at our PA announcer, who luckily has some protection in his way, but an early heads up for him. Bucs in their white tops, white pants, pinstripes. Bucs across the chest, lettering and numerals in black. As Sunseri fouls off another pitch outlined in yellow. Two-tone cap for the Bucs, black on the back, white on the front, and a B dawns the front. The 1-2 pitch to Casey. Chased it. This one gets away from the catcher. Ortega can't find it, and it's going to be a break for the Miners as Sunseri reaches on the strikeout.
Yeah, that ball bounced about 15 feet into the air off the missed play there. But, you know, to start this game, Howie, we got to talk about the weather conditions. Haze is back yet again. 3rd time we've seen it in-game this season. Gotta hope it's not too much problem. We get some sun peeking through it now, but not ideal for this one tonight.
So Owen Wild gets his first strikeout of the game, but not the way he wanted to get it, as Sunseri reaches on the pitch it got away. And the batter is Josh Pano, who takes a strike, 0-1. Owen Wild, Gonzaga University, where he sported a 3.03 ERA this year, 9-1 on the year. Good numbers for Owen. 0-1. Fastball just missed the outside corner. Called the ball by Levante Palmer. Paul Craddock, the first base umpire, Ryan Gill, the third base umpire, stationed over Owen Wild's shoulders with a runner aboard. Here in the top of the first, Miners interaction 14-5 on the year. Bucs 9-10. 5 off the pace. The 1-1. Runner goes. Pitch slap down the right field line. That is a foul ball.
Yeah, we had the chance to see Owen Wild a little bit earlier in the season, and you know how he is named, not telling of how he pitches the baseball. Locates well, strikes guys out, and really throws to contact. We saw really a strikeout of Casey Sinceri there to start it. Of course, the miscue allows him to get to first base, but Owen Wild, another talented pitcher these Miners have to face.
1-2 pitch to Josh Pano. His high ball 2. In that game, the Bucs picked up the win. That was on the 23rd. Just under a week ago, Wild went 6 innings, only allowed 3 hits, no runs, walked 1, struck out 8, and the Bucs were able to hold on and win 6-4. 2-2 pitch to the Miner shortstop, swing and a miss. Fastball right on by, second strikeout of the game for Wild. 1 out here in the first.
Yeah, we're already seeing him locate exactly where he wants to, Howie, and it's not, maybe blow-by stuff. Talk about a few pitchers in this league that kind of resemble the raw talent, at least, of Owen Wild, but just so fundamental. Locates the ball extremely well. Gets outs quickly.
Blake Avila bats. 1 on, 1 out. Swing and a miss. Good lively fastball for Wild, who sported almost a 4-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio at Gonzaga. 83 strikeouts, 24 walks over 74 1/3 innings. Blake Avila, arguably the best hitter on the team for the Miners so far, comes in hitting .351. He's scored 14 times. He's knocked in a team-leading 17. 0-1 pitch. Swinging a shot into left field. That is going to hang up for Chad Bourne, who makes the catch to retire Blake Avila. Trey, let's take a look at the rest of the starting 9 for the Mat-Su Miners.
Yeah, this Miners lineup, of course, not including Carter Young. He has to miss this game as well after being tossed out in the game against the Glacier Pilots earlier in the week, but you see Sinceri and Pano there. Avila, now Vergara, the hottest hitter maybe on this team. Nick Sorelli at first, Nathan Rose at second, Triolo back in the outfield, Heidel at 8, and Cade Manning rounds it out at number 9.
Alex Vergara has suddenly run his RBI total up all the way to 13 with a couple of homers and 3 doubles in his last few games. First pitch. Off-speed pitch and a called strike. What do you think has changed for Vergara, Trey?
It could be a simpler approach, and I think we're seeing him scoot up on the plate a little bit, get more aggressive. We saw an 0-2 home run, an 0-2 double.
A 1 pitch here. Check swing and a ball taken down and away, but he did swing. Says Paul Craddock, the first base umpire on the appeal. 0-2.
We just kind of see him become more relaxed as this month of June has gone on. Not as picky about the pitches he wants to swing at, and it's worked out for him, obviously.
Turf infield here at Mulcahy Stadium. Quad colored, plays fast. 0-2, runner goes, pitch fouled away. Sinceri has swiped 4 bags this year. 80% stolen base percentage for Sinceri, who's only been caught stealing 1 time. Vergara slotted back up into the cleanup role now. Bit of a different lineup, of course, as Trey mentioned. No Carter Young suspended in this game. That's Alaska Baseball League policy. You get thrown out, you're also suspended for the following game. 0-2. Gets through the wickets of Max Ortega, and an easy extra bag for Casey Sinceri, who's now in scoring position with 2 outs.
Max Ortega's struggling, and Wild's not making it easy on him. Both the drop third strike and that pitch there, low, but manageable, and that's 2 free bases.
Ortega let that one get through the wickets. Mason Marinko, Cam McGee, Cody Graybeck, Dylan Festerman from third to first on the infield. Chad Bourne, Garrett Anglim, Michael Diaz from left to right in the outfield, the defense for the Bucs. Ortega doing the catching for Owen Wild, who's ahead of Vergara 1-2. Ground ball foul. Trey mentioned quite hazy, but temperature-wise, perfect once again. 71 degrees yesterday, one of the hottest days of the summer so far. Pushed into the upper 70s down in the valley.
An off day for these players. Hope they went out and enjoyed it. I know we did. Now Hayes is here. You have to wonder how the Miners are going to bounce back. Heartbreaking loss, you could call it. Just 2 days ago here.
1-2 is fouled away again by Vergara, who's putting up a good fight. That was just a really tough game overall for the Miners. They gave up a season-high 8 runs to the second-place Glacier Pilots, who are now only 1.5 back, only trailing the loss column. Excuse me, in the win column by 3. And also a team-high 6 errors. Just not a good game for the Miners, who surrendered a 4-0 lead. But they're back at it today. as Vergara faces another 1-2. That one's outside.
Yeah, he got him with a curveball early in the at-bat. Similar spot, but tries him with the fastball there, just kind of missed away.
Vergara is a strikeout candidate. 23 strikeouts, a team leading 23 strikeouts. But as we mentioned, he has picked it up recently. Trying to drive in Sinceri from second. 2-2 pitch. Swinging a shot down the left field line. That's going to get down into the corner. Sinceri's going to round. He's going to score. Vergara on his way to second. He delivers again in the clutch. 1-0 Miners.
How about Alex Vergara? Another 2-out base hit. Another double in the first inning to bring home the first run of the game. And, you know, talk about just the little things here, Howie. The error by Max Ortega on the pass ball. That allowed Sinceri to get to first. The inning would have been over if they had been able to record that first strikeout. And Vergara makes him pay here. Right when he slides into that cleanup role, I think he is going to get used to it, at least in this game.
Extremely tough luck for Owen Wild, but a good job by the Miners, capitalizing on the mistakes. They'll try to tack on another with Nick Sorelli up there. Big left-handed bopper for the Miners. First pitch from Wild. Outside. Sorelli been hitting into a lot of bad luck recently. Got an off day on Monday. He's been smashing balls all over the field, but not much luck. Comes in 9 for his first 46. He has drawn 18 walks. Wild from the stretch. Kicks and fires. Here's a pretty pitch over the outside corner. How about Alex Vergara, Trey? Another extra base hit for Alex, who now has one in 3 straight games. 4 out of his last 5.
It has been unbelievable to watch. And, you know, another one there, Howie, with 2 strikes.
2 outs.
Loves the pressure.
1-1. Good block this time by Ortega. If you're just joining us, the inning started with a strikeout of Casey Sinceri, but a ball not played correctly by Max Ortega behind the plate, skipped away. Sinceri was able to reach on the strikeout. Went to second on another pass ball through the 5-hole. Came around to score on the Vergara double, an unearned run as the Miners in front 1-0. 1-1. Swing and a miss. Good pitch that time.
Yeah, Nick Sorelli, only a week into this mustache now, but he's got to find a way to get back on track. He has been hitting the baseball hard. Seen a few lineouts in these last few games, and he's had 2 days off in a row now after missing out on that Glacier Pilots game earlier in the week. Let's see how he can respond in this one.
Trying to recalibrate here in the first. 2-strike pitch. Swing and a shot in the left field. That's going to drop down. Vergara's going to get the wave. That ball played awkwardly by Bourne. His throw's going to be not good, and Vergara's going to score. 2-0 Miners here in the first.
2-out rallies. So fun to watch, and this Miners team did that a lot in the beginning of the season. Kind of a vintage look here tonight. Gotta hope this one isn't headed down the same path as that Glacier Pilots game on Monday. There was a 4-0 lead in the first inning there. A lot of 2-out offense. Got off to a good start again in this game, Howie. Now, how can you keep it going?
Miners getting to Owen Wild here in the first. Same Owen Wild that didn't allow a run through 6 innings 6 days ago against them. First pitch to Nathan Rose as a fastball that Rose swings and misses at for strike number 1. Such a good approach by the Miners early on in this game, lining it. Sorelli finally rewarded for a line drive, picks up the RBI. 0-1. Outside corner, strike 2. RBI number 8 for Nick Sorelli. Vergara scores for the 8th time. Wild way ahead of Nathan Rose, 0-2. Pitch. High.
This lineup just constantly picking itself up. I mean, Nick Sorelli, a guy that could get discouraged. He loses another place in this lineup. Missed his start. His batting average isn't stellar. Puts his head down and, has a big hit here against a great pitcher.
Nathan Rose hanging tough.
I think as the season goes on, having to face Zach Filos and Nico Zeglin and now Owen Wild, game after game, it's only going to make you better as you get close to the playoffs.
1-2 pitch to Rose. Swing and a miss. High heat gets Nathan and the Miners in the first, but not before Alex Vergara and Nick Sorelli deliver the goods. We're through 1/2 inning. Miners 2, Bucs nothing, as you're watching Matsu Miners Baseball on YouTube, presented by Napa Auto Parts. Miners strike first in the first. They lead the Bucs by 2 as Anchorage comes to bat for the first time. And the left-handed hitter, Cam McGee, digs in. David brings it to him. That is a ball low from Chandler David, 6'2", 205, 21-year-old. Attends the University of the Incarnate Word. 1-0. Miss low again, 2-0, making his third start of the year. For the Miners, hasn't allowed a run just yet through 9 innings, 5 walks, 6 strikeouts, and a couple of doubles. 2-0. Swinging a high pop. This one will get out of play for Chandler David. Trey, just a fastball, a slider, and a changeup, but awfully effective is David with 3 pitches.
Yeah, and some awfully poor luck to start this season as well. Pitched dazzling ball game against the Glacier Pilots about a week and a half ago. Lost that one 1-0, but has had 3 brilliant starts.
2-1. That one missed low. Heidel with a double clutch. 3 balls and a strike now for David, as Trey mentioned. Pitched in that Pilots game, 1-0, no decision. Pitched in a 2-1 win for the Miners against the Pilots. No offense until the 8th and 9th inning, though. 3-1. Swung on and drilled out to center field. That's going to send Vergara chasing back. He leaps, and he holds on. What a play by Alex Vergara, who goes full Superman mode in right center field.
Alex Vergara delivering on offense in the top of the inning, and a web gem here in the bottom half. Unbelievable.
What can't he do? Holy cow, that was the play of the year, in my opinion. Sorry, Michael Yates. As Vergara needs time now to shake out some dirt from his jersey. My goodness, Trey.
Milking it for the applause right now, as he should. Wow. What a play.
Vergara in center, Triolo in left, Avila was helping him out. He's in right field. Casey Zanseri, Josh Pano, Nathan Rose, Nick Sorelli from third to first on the infield, Chandler David, and Brandon Heidel, the battery for the visitors. Point I was about to make about Chandler David is no runs have been scored for him as Cody Grayback bats and grounds this one out to Sorelli. He's got that on a couple of hops. We'll flip to David. An easy out number 2. Much easier than the first down.
Yeah. That catch, I mean, you know, sometimes you see guys dive for the ball and they'll get full extension. They'll be on the ground, sliding on the grass. He caught that ball in midair, 3 or 4 feet off the ground.
Incredible play by Vergara as Mason Marinko will bat. The 2 runs in the first inning for the Miners, the first runs that Chandler David has got while he's on the mound so far.
Wow.
That's through 10 innings now. Marinko, the batter, and the pitch. Called strike over the outside corner. Fastball plays in the upper 80s for David, who's gotten 2 no decisions in 2 one-run games. His team leads by 2, though. Defense looks good. 0-1. Bounces up there. Mentioned in Monday's game, Trey, 6 errors. Worst game of the year defensively for the Miners. Talked to Kyle Watson. He said, I think that was probably a one-off. You always have bad games. Just got to refocus up and play tonight. They're playing right now.
It's going to happen. You just have to bounce back.
1-1. Swinging a pop-up. This should be playable for Nick Sorelli, who drifts into foul territory and puts the squeeze on it to end the inning. Alex Vergara doing it all in the first inning. RBI double, a Superman effort in right center field. It's the Miners 1, it's the Miners 2, it's the Bucs nothing as we head to the second inning. Matsu Miners Baseball on YouTube presented by Napa Auto Parts. Tailgating, speeding, and darting between lanes, that'll get you noticed and ticketed by police. Drive sober, slow down. We want you to stop speeding before it stops you. This message brought to you by the Alaska Highway Safety Office. Somebody needs to give Alex Vergara a speeding ticket for his running catch in the bottom of the first. Trey Triolo bats the lead off to second and takes a ball high from Owen Wild.
Somebody needs to give Alex Vergara the MVP award of this league at this point, Howie. I mean, what can he not do right now?
1-0. This is down and in 2-0. If he keeps it up, his numbers are improving rapidly. Now 15 for 67. 8 runs, 14 RBIs, 2-0. Swing and a miss. And in the absence of Carter Young, that play in center field is exactly what the Miners need.
At least player of the week honors, if nothing else.
2-1. Upstairs, 3 balls and a strike to Trey Triolo.
For a guy that had been struggling, to an extent, for this stretch to happen at this point in the season is so big for this lineup.
3-1. Triolo taking all the way, called strike.
And we knew it was going to come with time. Saw his numbers this past season. Saw him in practice. Know how talented he is.
Payoff pitch, fouled away.
But I don't think we expected this kind of run.
I think the telltale sign is how favorably he was penciled into the lineup early on in the season, as another 3-2 pitch is fouled away by Trey Triolo. The Miners hitters are doing a great job early on battling on Owen Wild. Early on in the season, Alex Vergara was constantly finding himself penciled in to the 3-hole, 4-hole for Tyler LeBrun. 3-2. Outside, he lost Triolo. Leadoff walk here in the second. And with a team so talented, Trey, that has to tell you what the coaching staff thought of Vergara coming in.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, he was one of the first guys we heard about from this coaching staff, and we knew he was going to start every day, knew he was going to get that opportunity to figure it out. And it's not to say, his struggles were extremely noticeable even in those first few weeks, but he wasn't living up to the 5-6 guys that were hitting over 300, and
Brandon Heidel shows bunt and takes a strike.
You know, he had his fair share of clutch plays, had the 2 walk-off walks, and that's awesome. But we knew he could hit the baseball like this. So nice to see it. And we know he has those wheels and the defense to go along with it, so tip your hat to him there in center field.
Heidel awaits the 0-1. Takes an off-speed pitch that drops in for strike 2. Brandon showed bunt on the first pitch. Pulled it back. Taking on that pitch, Trey Triolo, pretty good speed at first base and a sizable lead held on by Fesperman. Heidel now behind 0-2. Pitch, swing and a miss. Fastball eats alive Brandon Heidel. 4th strikeout of the game for Owen Wild. 1 down here in the second.
You know, he will bounce back, Howie. This is a premier pitcher in this league. Allowed 2 runs in the first inning, but if you're the Miners, you have to figure out a way to cash in. Trey Triolo, cash in these free bases anywhere you can, because Owen Wild will get in a rhythm. He will get in his seam, and then it's going to be tough to score any kind of runs, even get base runners at that point.
Cade Manning, the batter now. He takes a pitch off the plate. Not too much wind. Alaska and American flag tangled together over the left field wall. Blowing softly, 1-0. Good cut by Manning, fouled away. 325 down the lines here at Mulcahy Stadium. Around 400 to straightaway center. It's an estimation, no numbers on the walls, and a wall that has been moved around in recent years.
I didn't know you put any sound effects in this morning, Howie.
1-1. Manning shows bunt. It's a good one. Ortega pounces on it. The throw is going to be in time. Good sacrifice by Cade Manning, who almost juiced a hit out of it.
Yeah, that'll work. Got it down. Showed off those wheels, and for your designated hitter to come up and do that is selfless. Another designated hitter we see in a lineup, batting 9th. I like it. Have him lay down the bunt.
Turns it back over to the top of the order in Casey Sunseri. That's 2 sacrifices in as many games for the Miners. Carter Young laid one down on Monday. So an RBI chance for Sunseri here with 2 outs as the Miners try to add on. They lead 2-0. Wild checks on Triolo, kicks and fires. Swinging a high pop. Middle of the diamond, who wants it? It's going to be the first baseman, Dylan Fesperman, right on the mound, who makes the play for out number 3. Miners threaten, can't come through. We're off to the bottom of the second. Miners 2, Bucs nothing, as you watch Matsu Miners Baseball on YouTube, presented by Napa Auto Parts. Bottom of the second inning, Michael Diaz leads off for the Anchorage Bucs. Miners lead 2-0. Diaz will be followed by Garrett Anglem and Dylan Fesperman. Chandler David back to work. First pitch to Diaz. Fastball up and away. Good first inning for Chandler David. Got some help from his defense. Alex Vergara with a sprawling effort in center field. Also got a ground out and a foul pop. 1-0. Down and away, 2-0 on Michael Diaz. Diaz, Santa Clara University, originally from Phoenix, Arizona. Hit 276 this year. 2-0. Fouled away. Scored 11 times, knocked in 4. Left-hander stands in at 6'2". And faces the 6'2" righty, Chandler David. Feet together, wind up, pitch. Fouled away. Another good pitch by Chandler David, who just attacks hitters. Doesn't walk too many men. And don't be surprised if he starts going deeper into games than 4 and 5 innings, which we've seen in his first 2 starts. 2-2. Swinging a little pop down the left field line. That's trouble. And it's going to drop in. Bloop single for Michael Diaz to start the second. Nothing Trey Triolo could do on that ball, which was placed perfectly. First base runner of the game for the Anchorage Bucs is Michael Diaz, and Garrett Anglum will bat. Nebraska product. Hit 303 this year. Diaz will lead off first, held on by Nick Sorelli. David with a deep breath into the stretch for the first time in this game. Checks on Diaz. Delivers to Anglum. That one misses low. Anglum always sporting the oven mitt in his back right pocket. He jaunts his stance in the right-handed batter's box, waves the bat around over his right shoulder, and awaits a 1-0. Swinging a shot. That is a foul ball down the third base line.
How about the lead that you see there at first base? It's almost a skip hop right as the pitch is being delivered. Michael Diaz, a guy we didn't even see to start this season. All the way into cleanup as well.
1-1 pitch to Anglum. Angles in high. There are lights at Mulcahy Stadium should they be needed. Not the same as Herman Brothers Field, which, as we've already seen this year, if it gets too dark, you just can't play. Seen it dark out already. Hopefully that wouldn't happen here. Huge lead for Michael Diaz over at first. Not going. Pitch is grounded softly to the right side. That's going to be fielded by a charging Rose, who botches it off his glove. First error of the game in this one for the Miners. E4 on Rose. 2 on, nobody out.
Yeah, that one rolling slowly. You almost wish Rose had tried to two-hand it there. Tries to glove it and kind of flip on to first. Didn't get enough of the ball. And now 7 errors in just 10 innings. I'll make that 11 innings, I guess, here at Mulcahy Field. But you wonder if it's the turf, if it's maybe these smoky conditions. Whatever the case, these Miners struggling here on defense in Anchorage.
I think if Rose could do that one back, he would have tried to field it more normally. Probably had more time than he thought he did.
Yep.
Dangerous hitter in Dylan Fesserman has a chance to give the Bucs the lead with 1 swing of the bat here in the second. 2-1. Excuse me, first pitch to Fesserman. Is fouled off of him. 0-1. That's the 25th error of the year on the Miners, who for a long time, Trey, were keeping up a pace of more games than errors. But with a 6-error game the other day and an error to start this one, the errors have caught the games played. They've also caught the double plays turned by the Miners, which sits at 21 coming in.
Unfortunate. Some of those numbers didn't even seem real. Wasn't it something like 4 errors in the first 8 games?
It was. They were sporting a great ratio, and I know they have multiple games, 5 or 6, without an error.
And you're going to have games like we saw on Monday, 6 errors. But
0-1. This is down and in, 1 ball and 1 strike on Anglum. I think the goal is to limit them and spread them out a little more than the Miners are doing. Don't want to go from no errors to 6 errors. And, of course, trying to mitigate how costly they are. Miners gave up 3 unearned runs in the game against the Glacier Pilots. They lost the game by 3.
Yeah. And it's so frustrating, too, because that's a 6-5 game in the 8th inning. You still have a chance, even with the errors.
1-1. Good pitch that time by David. Slider in for a strike. As it is 1-2 now. Time's going to be called by Heidel, who wants to chat with David, maybe change up the signs. Miners were in that game all the way. Despite the errors, as you mentioned, they were doing a great job getting out of huge messes. They turned 3 double plays in that game, including a 5-4-3 with the bases loaded and 1 out in the 7th. They were holding the Glacier Pilots in check for so long, but finally the errors caught up to them in the bottom of the 8th. And the Glacier Pilots were just too much for the Miners on Monday. Pilots now 11-5, just a game and a half back for first place in the league. Miners with a 5-1 road record and a 5-1 record against the Bucs, trying to improve on those numbers this evening. They lead 2-0 in the bottom of the 2nd. Bucs threaten. Pitch. Swing and a miss. Got Dylan Fesperman to swing through that. First strikeout for David. First out here in the 2nd inning.
Yeah, David coming out in the first inning, throwing less than 10 pitches, just getting after hitters. Struggles a little bit here to start the 2nd. Nice bounce back there on maybe the most powerful hitter in this lineup. But if you're David, you know your strengths, and that's something we kind of highlighted at the top of the show. Pitch to contact. Get outs, get quick outs, and trust your defense. I know they've made, it's now 7 errors in 10 innings, but this is still a rock-solid defense. Put some trust in them.
Max Ortega bats now and takes inside for ball 1. In David's defense, he's run into some bad luck here in the 2nd. The error on Rose and the hit by Diaz was hit probably 50 miles an hour off the bat, just placed perfectly down the left field line. Bloop single to start the 2nd.
That's why it's so frustrating, because we know how good this defense is.
1-0. Good pitch. Strike 1.
We know how good David has been, too, so get out to this 2-0 lead. You see him come out in the first inning and look excellent. Have to keep it rolling here. Let's see if these Bucs can capitalize on errors now.
Bucs have won a couple of games in a row. Miners have dropped 3 of their last 4. 1-1. Misses low. Ken Hocuff, the Bucs head coach, also their third base coach, in his traditional stance, just staring down the runner on second base. Never seen a third base coach play it like that, Trey.
The ultimate amount of focus with his duties.
He is ready to go, locked in on the runner.
And an underrated position down there, Jim. He's taking it seriously.
2-1. Drops in 3-1. Just got to hope Max Ortega doesn't fire a BB down at him. I don't know if we'll ever see it. So locked in on the runner.
You know, it looks like he's so focused, Howie, he might not even care.
Always sports the shades, does Ken Hocuff. He'd be a good poker player, I suppose. 3-1. Swing and a miss. High fastball. Ortega chased it. Count run full.
Yeah, there's something about David's fastball that really entices hitters up in the zone. Haven't faced him, don't know what it is, but see a lot of fans on that high cheese.
3-2 count. We'll see if the Bucs put runners into motion here with 1 out. They don't. And the pitch misses away. Ball 4 loads the bases.
With the bases loaded and 1 out, that brings up number 10, DH Dylan Maltby.
First walk of the night for David. A department he's been excellent in throughout the year, and another error in this game, keeping the inning going.
Big spot in the game for Dylan Maltby, who is a hometown kid, originally from Anchorage. Nick Sorelli in where the turf changes colors. Only infielder in. The pitch. Swing and a shot down the right field line. That's trouble. It's going to drop in for a hit. Diaz is going to score. So is Anglem. 2-3 comes Max Ortega. It's going to be a double for Dylan Maltby that ties the game here in the 2nd.
The freebies will come back to bite you, Howie, as we saw the Miners with 2-out offense, kind of extending their inning with a drop third strike there in the first. An error in this inning. And a walk loads the bases. And a similar hit ball we saw on Monday night. Just kind of blooped down the line there, rolled to the corner. no doubt that that was going to score 2 runs, and still just 1 out. Have to find a way to keep it at just that.
Michael Diaz's run, charged is earned. Garrett Anglim's run, charged is unearned. 9-hole hitter, Chad Bourne. Bats with 2 men in scoring position as the Bucs look for their first lead now. Pitch to Chad. Fastball high. So first runs of the year allowed by Chandler David after he had gotten his first runs support of the year.
Yeah.
Silly game sometimes.
He plays to the deficit.
Chad Bourne, black bat, maple handle. 1-0. Good breaking pitch, strike 1.
Just wants to keep the baseball interesting, obviously. It's be a nice challenge, too. I mean, we haven't seen David struggle, have to kind of battle back in these situations too often this season. Good chance to see what he's made of.
Right-hander brings the 1-1. That one is off the knuckles, fouled away by Chad Bourne. You want to see interesting? Just wait until the Kenai road trip, which starts bright and early tomorrow morning. Pack the vans and head down to the peninsula for 5 games. That should be a ton of fun.
That's going to be a blast. Been rumored that there's more salmon in Kenai than anywhere else on planet Earth. Going to see some bears, hopefully some more moose, hopefully a lot of good baseball. 4th of July game as well.
1-2. Fouled away by Chad over our heads. It will be Thursday through Monday for the Miners in Kenai, with all games starting at 6 o'clock local time, 10 Eastern, besides the Sunday game, which will start at 2 o'clock local time, 6 Eastern. All will be on YouTube, of course, where you are right now. 1-2.
Oh, wow.
Almost hit Chad Bourne, who had to arch his back and move out of the way of that one. That was near his face. Never want to see that.
That was athletic to be able to get out of the way there. I thought it was another base runner, no doubt, but that snap jerk reaction keeps first base open, and new life here for David.
New life for the Bucs as well, who've tied the game at 2. Miners will have their heart of their order due up in the 3rd. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. David got him. Second strikeout and a big second out here in the 2nd.
You know, how big could that duck turn out to be? He ducks out of the way, and if he hadn't, it would have kept the at-bat going. It would have been a base runner. Would have loaded the bases. Would have been 1 out still and no strikeout.
Might have also caused him to have facial reconstruction
Yes.
surgery, so don't blame him, but you never know. Cam McGee bats. He was the victim of Alex Vergara's diving play to start the Bucs offensive game, and takes a strike at the knees.
How about that? In the first 3 pitches of the game, we see what has to be the play of the night.
It's a long night, though, and a 2-2 game. Stick around. 0-1. Swing a little pop. Similar to the ball hit at the beginning of the inning. Chasing it is Payno. It's off his glove and foul ground. Luckily for the Miners, this ball had some more side spin on it.
Yeah, that one kept looping. Looked scary for a minute there, and nice effort to even get over there and attempt the play, but luckily for these Miners, just a foul ball.
Cam McGee will retrieve his bat. Dig back into the left-handed batter's box. Might not be an appropriate thing to say with turf, but say it anyway. He's behind 0-2 as David tries to strand a couple runners in scoring position. 0-2. Fastball high, not a bad pitch as he's been getting the Bucs to swing at that.
Look at this, how we've had 3 pitches to Cam McGee in the game. No broken bats. We're rolling.
That's right.
Maybe even 4 or 5 pitches after his first at bat.
1-2. Just missed the outside corner. That's a corner that has been given by Connor Lindsay, not part of the umpiring crew in this one. Levante Palmer, different strike zone, different man.
Yep, I'm assuming with the absence of Connor Lindsay, we will have an absence from Steve Lindsay as well. But let us know where you're watching from tonight.
2-2. Lashed out of play by Cam McGee, who's in a good battle.
Excited to join you guys in Anchorage. Appreciate you tuning in, and like Howie said, a big trip coming up to Kenai. That is one that we know not many Miners fans are going to be able to make the trip down to, so please join us for those 5 games.
Second of 12 straight games in league play on the road for the Miners here on Wednesday. 2-2. Grounded foul. Evening rush traffic is on, well beyond the stadium complex, which sports, you guessed it, another baseball game in center field. I believe that is 4 for 4 now.
Oh, yeah.
On that. Football field and left, soccer field, hockey rink, indoor and out. As time called by Cam McGee. Some sort of fighting arena I hear as well. Sports wrestling.
I was going to say fighting arena. What are we going on in there?
Fighting, I presume. 2-2. Grounded foul. Good battle here by Cam McGee.
Yeah, really a cool complex. I would love to see the outdoor hockey if we had the chance. Not much hockey where we come from.
It's tough to play without ice, right?
Yeah. Just one rink in my hometown, but had a little league.
2-2. Popped up. Shallow center. As it's going to be Josh Pano, the shortstop, who takes over. And a convergence of Miners behind the second base bag. Bucs tie this game. They score 2 runs, one of them unearned. We're through 2 complete. Miners 2, Bucs 2. As you watch Matsu Miners Baseball on YouTube, presented by Napa Auto Parts.
We have lots of great sponsors for Bucs baseball, including Subway of Alaska, Arby's, Mozo Brady's, and Safe and Sound.
Back as we try to work through some technical difficulties here in the third. Blake Avila takes ball 4 as he works a walk on Owen Wild. You're watching Matsu Miners Baseball on YouTube. Trey Yannity alongside Howie Boxley. As Blake Avila just worked a 1-out walk in a 2-2 game. Josh Pano struck out looking to start the frame. As the Miners try to take back the lead with their hottest hitter, Alex Vergara. Got the scoring started with a double down the left field line in the first. He'll hit with 1 on and 1 out. Wild settling in after that first inning, which saw a strikeout score. First pitch to Vergara, waved at, missed. 0-1. 5 strikeouts now for Wild in this game. Both those runs in the first inning unearned. A couple of costly passed balls, including 1 on the strikeout.
The little mistakes catching up to both teams so far in this game. We appreciate the comments helping us get a look that you guys are seeing right now.
0-1. Down and away. Ball 1, strike 1 to Alex Vergara. As you can hear a plane fly by in the background. Of course, Anchorage Airport not too far away, along with the airfield. Vila with a modest lead off first. The 1-1. Something off speed that stays high.
Yeah, a lot of airfields around here. Heavy military presence in the state, in the area.
Two 2-1. Swinging a ground ball. That is going to find some green grass. It's another base hit for Alex Vergara. 2 on, 1 out.
Just keeps it going. His batting average going to be soaring through the roof in this month of June. So we have the Alaska Army National Guard not too far away. Fort Wainwright, famous one up there in Fairbanks. Air Force Station, a little bit north of here as well.
Vergara now 8 for his last 15 at the plate. Nick Sorelli bats, 2 on, 1 out. Pitch. Misses inside. Another chance for the Miners to get to Owen Wild. With the heart of their order, Vergara 2 for 2 with an RBI. Sorelli, to this point, 1 for 1 with an RBI. Drove home Vergara with a line shot. Trying to bring home Blake Avila this time. 1-0. Outside corner. A lot of off-speed pitches being thrown to Nick Sorelli. Saw a change-up right there.
And we don't see a shift in this game. We saw the Bucs really not go to the shift against him the other night.
1-1. Swing and a miss. Another off-speed pitch. That one darts down below Sorelli's bat.
Coach Tyler LeBrun said he expects it at some point in the season for every team to put on a shift against the lefty.
Seen Chugiak do it a lot. He's in a 1-2 count. Wild sets. And delivers. That one misses high.
You know, maybe that base hit is all he needs to get back on track. Still been hitting the baseball hard.
Still feels like we are going to see a game at some point where Nick Sorelli just starts tearing the cover off the baseball and he just won't look back. 2-2. Swinging a high pop. This one drifting into the stands. It's a foul ball out of play.
Yeah, we were told he was the hitter to look out for when we first got here. One of the returners on this team.
Why not? Hit 5 home runs last year. Sported an average up in the 280 range. Walked a league-leading 37 times. Got a heavy dose of that early on.
Yeah.
Pace has slowed down significantly on the base on balls, but he still has 18 of them, which leads the team by a wide margin. 2-2. Tipped in and out of the mitt of Max Ortega. That's a break for Sorelli, who's still alive.
I'm really glad that stretch happened at the beginning of the season. He was hitting 3-hole, 4-hole, but taking all those walks, it showed he was going to be selfless. He was going to lead. He was going to try to get on base. Wasn't worried about hitting home runs, being the big, powerful hitter that everybody had hyped him up to be.
He's hit a couple this year already. 2-2. Pokes this one foul.
Which he is that hitter, too. Don't get me wrong. I mean, we've seen some missiles off the bat, but really just leads this team, trying to find a way, and such a leader in the locker room as well. Always texting, making sure the cleanup groups are ready to go for the morning, and getting everybody in order.
Trying to clean up the bases right here. 2 on, 1 out. 2-2 game. 2-2 pitch. Fastball high. Really showing you how well he can work in at bat. He's shortened way up with 2 strikes. He's poked a couple of pitches foul. He's forcing Owen Wild to throw strikes, who has now thrown 3 balls to him. And it's a pitch away from walking the bases loaded. Payoff pitch. Time called at the plate by Cirelli. Wild was checking on Avila, who was dancing off the second base bag, held near by shortstop Cam McGee.
Yeah, that might have been a really wise move there. McGee with the back pick attempt. I think Cirelli saw it. Maybe Avila didn't. Helps his teammate out.
Payoff. Swinging a high fly ball sent out to right center field. Michael Diaz back near the wall. He is going to catch it up against the fence. Tagging are both runners. They're going to slide in. Nick Cirelli missed a 3-run homer by a few feet.
That is a tough break for a guy who has had so many of them in these last few weeks. That ball inches from being a home run, and a leaping catch there in right field that time by Michael Diaz. Wouldn't have been a home run even if he hadn't left his feet, but really nice play and another really tough break for Cirelli.
Ball kept carrying out towards that scoreboard. Thought it had a chance to get out. Just short as Diaz makes the play. 2 men in scoring position, though. They both advance on the fly out. Avila and Vergara at third and second. Chance for Nathan Rose here to pick up some 2-out RBIs. Takes a fastball over the outside corner for strike one. Owen Wild sets at the Bucs and delivers. Tipped into the mitt of Ortega. Strike two now on Rose, who struck out swinging back in the first.
Off the bat of Cirelli there, I thought it might have had a chance, but it looked like he had just gotten under it. A little surprised it even made it that far by the end of it.
0-2. Fouled away.
Saw in the first inning, though, it just takes one 2-out base hit to completely change the look of an inning. You got the guys there. Make it work.
Defense plays Rose fairly straight up. Maybe a slight shift towards the left side. 0-2. Driven into center field. That's going to send Anglin back a few steps. He comes in now and catches it. 2 in the inning. The Miners get a walk and a base hit. Strand a couple of runners to the bottom of the third. Miners 2, Bucs 2. As you watch Matsu Miners Baseball on YouTube, presented by Napa Auto Parts. Part of the order due up for the Bucs here in the third. Cody Graybeck, Mason Mariko, and Michael Diaz will get their second look at Chandler David, who allowed a couple of runs last inning. As we are in a 2-2 game on a Wednesday. Graybeck grounded to first, his first time up. David into the wind and the pitch. Below Graybeck's knees for ball one.
This game's still kind of waiting to get a feel to it.
1-0. Ball again.
If the Miners had punched in at least a run there, might set up for a shootout, but nice response from the Bucs after putting runners on second and third.
2-0. Popped up. Foul territory. Sinceri over to give it a look, but it's out of play.
You know, and in the bottom of the second, this Bucs team had second and third with just one out. David found a way to respond on his own there and keep it a tie game.
Two one. Driven down the left field line. This one arches towards the Bucs bullpen. Out of play again. 2-2.
As we have Harold and Kerry Weems again from Farmington, Missouri. Go Miners. Grandparents of Jacob Steele tuning in tonight. And we have Broken Arrow again from Chickaloon, Alaska.
2-2. Chopped softly to third. Sanseri will field that. Fire across for out number 1.
I know you love Carlsbad, California. I think Chickaloon, Alaska has an argument for one of the best names in America.
It's not bad.
Bainbridge Island, of course, is in the running. We have Ty Davidson tuning in from South Carolina tonight. Let's go. Welcome in, Ty. Making it close to home for me here.
Mason Marinko bats. Called strike. Is that a relative of Chandler David, I presume?
That's Davidson. Ty Davidson, so
It's a little different.
maybe a distant relative.
0-1,
Mom's
misses
side.
low. 1 ball, 1 strike. David works quickly. Offsets himself on the left side of the rubber and brings the 1-1. Swing and a miss. Right on by with that. Fastball. 1-2.
And he said go Bucks, so probably not.
Maybe a former relative.
Yeah.
1-2 pitch. Just missed outside.
Jealous older brother.
Yeah, must have to be pretty bitter to tune in just to root against your ex-family member, right? 2-2. Fouled away.
Well, you know, we see the sibling rivalry sometimes. Maybe they were familiar with the league growing up, and they set their loyalties from a young age. Ty's just being a good fan. Didn't know his brother was going to be a minor.
2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 3 for Chandler David. 2 up, 2 down in the third.
And not a bad guess, though, Howie. Ty is back in the comments. Chandler Brooks is his half-brother pitcher here for Anchorage. So that would make a little bit more
That's
sense.
pretty close. He is almost sporting the last name of David. He is supporting someone who has the same first name
Yeah,
as Chandler. Might as well just make the switch,
it all adds up.
as this one is driven into left center field by Michael Diaz. Left fielder Trey Triolo camps under that and makes the play. Easy inning for Chandler David. 3 up, 3 down. We're through 3 complete. Miners 2, Bucks 2 as you watch Matsu Miners Baseball on YouTube, presented by Napa Auto Parts. Top of the 4th inning, Miners and Bucks tied at 2, and you will no longer be tied to my voice as I'm going to turn the play-by-play duties over to Trey Yanity.
Thank you, Howie. Don't know if they're now getting tied to my voice. I hope not. That sounds painful. But thank you for sending it over here. Excellent job so far tonight. And an excellent ball game so far. 2-2 as we begin the 4th inning. Owen Wild remains on the mound. And Trey Triolo steps in for his second at bat of the night. Takes a ball inside. It'll be 1-0. walk back in the second. No rhythm to this game still, Howie, as the defense starts to pick it up. That 1-0 is going to be called strike one. But, you know, you have to like this Miners' response to the 6 errors on Monday. Just one so far tonight is the 1-1 laid off. It's a called strike on the outside corner. 1-2. Righty on lefty here to begin the fourth. As Wild takes the advantage. Now the 1-2. Just got a piece of it on the check swing.
Another one in and out of the mid, a Max Ortega who's had a couple not stick. And Trey, we found the true Chandler David family. As Jonathan Newton says, his family is tuning in from Texas.
There we go. The 1-2 swung on and poked foul again. Well, no last name matches there, so maybe he just has the knowledge that they're tuning in. Can't confirm that we have a family member in the chat. We'll take his word for it. As strike 3 there of Trey Triolo. It is out number 1 here in the fourth. Work to the 8-hole hitter, Brandon Heidel.
Owen Wild really just quietly racks up the strikeouts, doesn't he? Had 8 the first time he played the Miners. He already has 6 with 1 out here in the fourth.
Yeah, really just kind of sleeps it away, and a rocky start in the first inning. From the windup, the first pitch to Heidel, a fastball that misses high, but beautiful bounce back here. Thought we would see as much. "1-0 swung on, fouled out of play.
Miners have been struggling recently with the strikeout. That was another issue in the game Monday. They struck out 16 times, 9 of them looking so far in this one. 2 of their strikeouts have been looking. Starting to pile up a bit.
1-1 now, swung on, fouled out of play again here. It'll be 1-2.
I think that's something that the Miners have been doing really well early on in the season. They were picking up more wins as well, but not striking out very much, especially in this day and age.
From the windup, the 1-2. Similar ball there as it's fouled into the netting. We'll do it again. What do you think the reason behind that is? Because we knew that that mark wasn't going to be sustainable. They had won 6 in a row to start the year, and then they had gotten it out to 13-2 at one point. They weren't striking out a lot, weren't allowing many errors. The 1-2 is going to miss high. Now 2-2.
Definitely just one of those things where it feels like you can get in a rut, and I think like the errors, they're probably contagious. Start seeing a lot of strikeouts.
And there's one of Brandon Heidel. Now the second of the inning for Owen Wild.
And
2 outs for the Miners.
And 2, give credit to Owen Wild. Give credit to Zane Barnhart on Monday's game, who struck out 7. Zach Philos, another great pitcher. He doesn't strike out as many, but I think the pitching level has been elevated.
There's the first pitch to Cade Manning off the mask of Max Ortega. He's having a tough time seeing it down there in the smoke. He's going to run out there and visit his pitcher. 1-0 on Manning.
Right on cue, Trey. As Broken Arrow comments, looks like smoke there. It's exactly right.
Yep.
It is right around 70 degrees and smoky from the wildfires in and around the area.
That sun in mid-set now, too. It's got to kind of brighten things up a bit. Makes it tough. So that 1-0 is swung on, fouled into Ortega again here. He's going to need a moment. It'll be 1-1.
Of course, the wildfires, you don't want to see them burning in residential areas or anything like that, but I think one of the neatest things that happens around this time of year, maybe a little bit earlier in the lower 48, you get some dust from Africa, all the way from Africa. It changes from year to year how much dust comes in. That's way up in the atmosphere, and it creates some beautiful sunsets in the lower 48. With the dust way up high, you can get vibrant colors from that, so that's really neat. Of course, not much of a sunset right now with the daylight hours.
That one is swung on and rope foul. It'll be 1-2 now on Manning. I didn't know that phenomenon even existed.
Yeah, dust comes off. It's a pretty common thing. I think a couple years ago. It got sort of blown up a little bit. There was a lot more than usual.
As the 1-2 is swung on and missed. 3 strikeouts for Owen Wild. He is right back on track. Has his catcher Ortega goes out there and gives him the fist bump. Full smiles here for the Bucs as they send the Miners down in the 4th. We go to the bottom half. Your score 2-2. This is Miners Baseball presented by Napa Auto Parts. Garrett Anglem to lead it off here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Miners 2, Bucs 2. This is Miners Baseball presented by Napa Auto Parts. Chandler David getting in a rhythm of his own as he delivers a curveball. Strike 1 to Garrett Anglem. The center fielder reached on an error back in the 2nd inning. His offset stance, now the 0-1. Called strike 2, another fastball. That hits for David.
Both starters, unsurprisingly, settling in just fine. 8 strikeouts for Wild, 3 for David, who set down 5 in a row.
As the 0-2 swung on, popped up. Right side in foul territory as it drifts towards the line, and right on it is Blake Avila to make the catch for out number 1. Ball looped a bit back towards the field of play. And another out for Chandler David to start an inning. He is now set down 6 in a row. Dylan Fesperman, the first baseman, steps in. For his second about a strikeout in the 2nd. Got him started, now the first pitch. Curveball, called, strike 1. Working quickly is David, the 0-1, in the dirt. It'll be 1-1, tried the curveball again there.
What baseball do you think's happening on the field behind us? What level?
Say 11, maybe 12. So that 1-1 is going to miss low now. 2-1, maybe a little older. It's deceiving being this far away, this high up, but I'm going to go 12 if I had to pick one number. 1-2, broken bat, chopped out to third. Casey Sinceri gloves and throws to first in time for out number 2. As the bat will not die a hero. And now 2 up, 2 down here in the bottom of the 4th.
I'm with you. I think that bat was definitely broken somewhere, but as it got tossed around back toward the dugout, couldn't see anything from here, but it certainly sounded like a broken bat. So maybe just a small crack in it.
As the first pitch to Max Ortega. He's going to miss away, 1-0. Well, let's hope Fesperman knows at least. Maybe if you're a Miners fan, you hope he doesn't. So that one is swung on and lifted into center field. Back is Alex Vergara, now going to take a few steps in as he camps and makes the catch for out number 3. 3 up, 3 down here again in the bottom of the 4th. As Chandler David continues to roll in this game, you are watching Matsu Miners Baseball presented by Napa Auto Parts. Nico Stanley out of Santa Clara University is now in the game for these Anchorage Bucs as we begin the 5th inning. You're watching Matsu Miners Baseball presented by Napa Auto Parts. A 2-2 game here at Mulcahy Stadium as these Miners look to get back in the win column. They have lost 3 out of 4 for the first time in 2022, but they've been excellent on the road. And they're looking to get back at these Bucs. But it's certainly been a good one, Howie, and a surprising pitching change here to start the 5th.
Certainly is a surprising pitching change as Stanley replaces Owen Wild, who started this game. Only allowed to go 4 innings. He struck out 8, gave up 3 hits, 2 runs. Neither one of them were earned. Some really bad luck for Owen Wild in the first inning. Casey Sunseri reaches on a strikeout and a passed ball, advances to second on a passed ball, and some 2-out run producing by the Miners. Alex Vergara and Nick Sorelli in tow, but the Miners in front. So Owen Wild out of the game, which can only be good news, you would think, for the Miners, who just struck out in all 3 at-bats in the 4th.
Yeah, it was a quick 4th inning. 3 up, 3 down via the strikeout. But back to the top of the lineup, Casey Sincere will lead it off for the Miners. As Stanley from the windup. First pitch is swung on, line down the right field line. It drops in for a base hit. To the corner it goes as Sincere will round first. He will head to second. He might be thinking 3. He will get the stop sign, though, and take the 2 bags to lead off the inning here. A double for Casey Sunseri. Runner in scoring position with nobody out.
Casey Sunseri is so good at that. I don't know how many times we've seen Sunseri just take the ball the other way. He didn't hit that ball very hard at all, but when you have the right approach, Trey, things tend to work out. Take it the other way, get it over the infield, drop it in down the line. Extra bases for Casey Sunseri once more, who now has a 6-game hit streak and his 6th double of the year.
Always just taking the baseball where it comes. And now the corners will come in for Josh Pano. 2 strikeouts in this game. The first pitch. Swing and a miss.
27th hit for Casey Sunseri. That leads the team.
Feels comfortable in that leadoff role as we see him there again.
He just hits wherever you put him.
Wherever you put the baseball. Now the 0-1. Fouled off. Be 0-2 here quickly on Pano. Now 4 hits in the game for these Miners.
Josh Pano was on an absolute tear. Obviously, he was hitting over 400. But of late, he's struggled. He's now 1 for his last 7 with 5 strikeouts, including 2 in this game. So, Pano skidding a bit for the Miners.
Yeah, such a hot stretch there. Early in June, had a feeling he would cool down a bit. Now faces an 0-2. Nobody out and a runner on second base. Stanley is going to step off. Look back that runner.
Stanley 6'4", 205. Sported a 12 even ERA over 13 appearances this year. Miners trying to get to him to get the lead back.
Now the 0-2. Swung on, grounded through the right side into right field. Sunseri's going to get the wave. He is going to come in. The throw is a bit left of the plate. And this will give the Miners the lead here in the 5th inning.
Same thing, same result, Trey. A guy with the right approach, just trying to hit the ball to the right side of the infield, move Sunseri over. Guess what? Finds a hole and gets credited with an RBI. Love it if you're the Miners.
As they get this lead back here in the 5th. For the first time since the 2nd inning. And Blake Avila will try to add on. Still nobody out in the inning. 2 hits here in the 5th for the Miners. As Diaz made it close at the plate there, Sunseri got a good jump. He scores, and the first pitch is swung on and hit out to second. This one grew back onto McGee, 4-6-3, and it's dropped at first as that'll go down a fielder's choice. And just 1 out for the Bucs and a runner on first base for the Miners.
Lucky break for the Miners. Can't assume the double play, so no error, but might as well be one on Fesperman, who cost his team an out.
Unable to scoop it up, now Blake Avila will stand on first base, and Alex Vergara, who already has 2 hits in this game, an RBI, steps in. First pitch. Curveball's going to drop in for a strike. These are the Miners we're a bit more used to. Aggressive on the base paths.
Stringing together hits. Teammates picking each other up.
The 0-1. Off the hands foul, it'll be 0-2. Again, Vergara down 0-2. He's thrived in this position. Stanley trying to bounce back here after the RBI knock. The 0-2 now. Swung on, softly rolled down the line. Foul. It will roll. And remain 0-2 on Vergara. Huge there for Pano to maybe get some confidence back. Gets the RBI.
RBI number 13 for Josh Pano. Casey Sunseri scores for the 17th time. That also leads the team. Excuse me, make it 18. He scored twice now in this game.
Miners finding a way here in the 5th. Alex Vergara trying to work back. He is down 0-2. The pitch in the dirt. It'll be 1-2.
Something that we've heard from the first base dugout again tonight. 19 to 20 games for the Miners played in the first base dugout. The coaching staff and the likes is they need to take more pitches the other way. That's what they've done here. It's produced a run in the 5th.
Now the 1-2 is swung on and roped over the head of the shortstop into left center field. That will put runners on first and second base. McGee, a nice effort there, but just over the web. Still one out in the inning. Another runner in scoring position and another base hit for Alex Vergara.
Vergara just smashing the baseball right now. He's on everything, barreling everything, taking it where it's pitched. Another hit for Alex Vergara.
Now 3 on the night. He had a double in the first inning. 2 singles, and Nick Sorelli, who was feet away from a home run in his last at-bat, will step in with runners on first and second. The first pitch, a fastball that misses low, 1-0. I mean, the ball has to look like a beach ball right now to Alex Vergara. 3 hits again tonight. And the 1-0. Misses away now, 2-0.
His average has climbed 34 points in this game alone. Up to 246 now. As he was way down below 200 before this hot stretch. He's really turned it around.
This one is swung on and driven deep to left center field. That will send Anglem back, and that one is off the base of the wall. Blake Avila is waved around third. He will come in to score. Vergara stands on third, and this throw gets away. He's going to try to take the plate, throw in time, and the tag is applied there for out number 2. Nick Sorelli, the deep double. 4-2 Miners. Vergara gunned down at the plate.
It's a wild play there. I don't blame Vergara for trying to score on the ball that got away, but he was pegged.
Tried to take advantage of the mistake on the missed throw into Cam McGee. He dove for it. Couldn't come up with it, but Mason Marinko comes in to save the day as he spins around and throws out Vergara. Nick Sorelli remains on second base and now meeting at the mound with 2 outs. And Nathan Rose coming to bat.
But how about Nick Sorelli? He's squaring everything up as well. Launched that baseball and just missed another home run, this time to a deeper part of the ballpark. Smashed it off the wall.
And we don't have numbers on the wall, as Howie mentioned. I'm going to say that ball went about 385, maybe 390 feet into that notch. Really squaring it up now is Sorelli, and Nathan Rose will get an opportunity. Another runner in scoring position. Now 4-2 Miners. First pitch from Stanley. Misses low. Still extremely interested to hear the reasoning behind this substitution. No discredit to Stanley, but this one is swung on and roped out to left field. It is a long run for Bourne, but he's going to make the catch for out number 3. Nico Stanley comes into the game. He allows 2 runs here in the 5th inning as the Miners retake the advantage. 4-2. We head to the bottom half. Don't go anywhere. You are watching Matsu Miners Baseball, presented by Napa Auto Parts. The Miners regain the lead in the top of the 5th. They now lead this one 4-2. As we rejoin you for the bottom half of the 5th inning, Chandler David rolling along in this game. He has allowed just 2 hits and will deliver the first pitch to Dylan Maltby, the designated hitter. He had 2 runs batted in the 2nd inning. Driven in all of the offense for Anchorage tonight. Now faces the 1-0. In the dirt, now 2-0. Well, crazy play there in the top of the 5th. Gave the Miners another run in this game, but this one swung on, lined over the head of Pano into left field. A base hit for Maltby to start it off here in bottom 5. 1 on, nobody out. And now the 9-hole hitter, Chad Bourne. But as I was saying, Howie, tough luck there at the plate for Alex Vergara. I like the aggressiveness again. Very on brand for this Miners team. The scoring, maybe not the easiest for you.
I agree. The Miners looking a lot more characteristic tonight. They're running hard. The offense is picking up the pitching. The pitching is picking up the offense. And much more like the Miners we saw that were off to a 13-2 start.
As David's going to throw over to first. Maltby is back in time.
But Vergara out on that play, 8-6-5-2. For out number 2 in the inning. On a bad throw by Anglin from center field. Deflected off McGee's glove. Marinko threw him out at the plate.
The 2-0 now. That one's going to hit him. A curveball never broke for Chandler David. He runners on first and second. Nobody out. We saw this back in the 2nd inning.
2 out and nobody out. That brings up shortstop number 8, Cam McGee.
Miners really need Chandler David to batten down the hatches, which would be more appropriate for the Bucs. They're Pirates after all, but hey, nonetheless.
Well, we don't want to see Cam McGee clear the decks. If that's possible, the corners are going to come in here. The middle infield, a double play depth. First and second, nobody out. And now David from the stretch. Fastball misses away. I think Chandler David kind of thrives in spots like this. Seen pressure in this game already. Worked out of 1 jam. Did allow 2 runs. But kept it tied as the Miners have retaken the lead now 4-2. Cam McGee trying to answer in the bottom of the 5th. The 1-0. Squares around to bunt. Gets it down. Heidel fields it out front of home plate. He throws to first. His only play is there. It is out number 1. A successful sacrifice for Cam McGee. And now runners on second and third with 1 out.
That brings up second baseman number 4, Cody Redman.
It's a good bunt by Cam McGee. And an equally good play by Brandon Heidel to pounce on it again. Miners showing some good defense. We have seen 1 error in this game, but so far the Miners looking back to normal on Wednesday.
And an error on a pretty difficult play for Nathan Rose. Back on schedule to this point. And now Cody Graybeck, the second baseman, is going to call time before he begins his 3rd at bat. I thought we were about to see him wipe off the plate there, but no, with the turf.
I was worried we were about to see our 7th balk call in 4 games.
No call. And now the first pitch to Graybeck. Swung on, chopped foul. Right on the plate, it'll be 0-1. Graybeck grounded out in the first. He is 0 for 2 tonight. David gets up early.
Glacier Pilots and the Chinooks are doing battle tonight. Of course, at Lee Jordan Field. Glacier Pilots couldn't be playing at home. This is their home.
The 0-1. Swung on, fouled. Into the netting, it'll be 0-2. It'd be funny if they scheduled it on the same night. One team gets the Little League field over there. The other one can get Mulcahy.
Certainly one of the oddities of the league. 2 teams in Anchorage share a field. Feels like they have less road games than the other teams.
The 0-2 now. That one misses high, 1-2. Really is divided though, Howie. We see a whole new ballpark staff come in for Pilots games versus Bucs games. Different concessions even. It's like the Clippers and the Lakers. Sharon Arena. Chargers, Rams. 1-2, swung on, rolled up the middle. Pano charges it. He is going to throw on the run in time for out number 2. That will bring home a run and cut this lead back to 1. Here is the leadoff hitter, Dylan Maltby, comes around to score. 4-3 Miners. An RBI is picked up there by Graybeck on his ground out.
Shows the importance of the successful sacrifice by Cam McGee. Miners forced to concede the run as the Bucs draw within 1.
Jets and Giants. Pilots and Bucs.
And a pinch hitter. Alex Champagne bats here for Mason Marinko.
We've seen a lot of Alex Champagne in the starting lineup. One of these Power 5 guys out of Arizona State. Hit over 200 this past year.
So he's up in a big spot here. Mason Marinko taken down. We've seen that a few times now. Marinko taken down about halfway through the game. This time in favor of Champagne in a big spot trying to tie the game.
It's like an opener, just for a position player, as the first pitch is going to skip off the glove of Heidel. A fastball that missed away. He regains it, and it'll be 1-0.
David trying to get through this 5th inning, qualify for the win. And for the Miners, they haven't surrendered a lead in the 6th inning on. So you feel good about your chances if you can.
The 1-0. Curveball, nice frame there by Heidel. It'll be 1-1.
Some tossing going on down the right field line. That's where the Miners pin is. Looks like Owen Lesh down there. He's just walking around though, no throwing.
Now the 1-1. Tries the fastball outside again, misses. With that one now 2-1.
Anchorage bullpen quiet at the moment.
Yeah, these bullpens way down the line here in Anchorage. Try to get the numbers as best we can tonight. Now the 2-1. That one hits the corner, 2-2.
This is a very odd move. You get the left-handed hitter in, of course, against David, but seems like a tough spot to pull a pinch hitter in the 5th inning.
Yep, now we'll see if we have musical chairs on defense, as we did the last time we were here. The 2-2 is lined up the middle into center field. That is going to tie this game. A wise move. So the Bucs turn to Alex Champagne to pinch hit here in the 5th. He ties the game at 4. And after a brilliant start from Chandler David, we have a new ball game.
I guess hindsight's 20/20, or in this case 4-4, as Champagne ties the game.
I don't think 4-4 vision would be very good, Howie.
You're probably right. Probably wouldn't be great.
As it's going to do it for Chandler David tonight. Tyler LeBrun out there to grab the baseball. And it looks like we will be seeing Owen Lesh enter this game. Runs in through the smoke. We saw him in what might have been his quickest appearance ever the other day.
He said it wasn't. Actually, I actually asked him.
Really?
He said, nah, it was a minute 45, 7 pitches. I've had a 3-pitch inning. It took like 90 seconds. So close, but not quite. Pretty quick regardless. As Owen Lesh has just been masterful for the Miners early on in this year. Making his 7th appearance, Trey. He's only allowed 1 run, a .56. That's 0.56, the ERA for Lesh.
He has been amazing, and he's been having so much fun with it, too. Another one of the leaders on this team, one of the older guys in that clubhouse. He's only allowed 7 hits all season. Made 1 start this year at this ballpark. Like you said, just 1 run. Only 2 doubles. 7 walks to his 11 strikeouts. Hit a batter. Now coming in here in the bottom of the 5th. So the Bucs have tied it 4-4. 2 runs apiece in the inning. And a runner on first base with 2 outs. The pitch. is going to miss away to Michael Diaz. Rose backs up. Deep into that hole at second base. Champagne leads off. Now the 1-0. In the dirt, Heidel. Able to recover. It'll be 2-0.
Lesh, truly a team leader. Not only does he play, he also recruits. He got Slick Briley to make the trip up to Last Frontier. We'll see him pitch on July 4th.
The 2-0 now is it's going to be called strike one. The batter, Michael Diaz, stepped out. He wanted time, didn't get it. And a strike from Owen Lesh.
It's Slick, along with Josh Mendez, the two newest additions, left-handed arms, just like Lesh.
2-1, swung on, fouled out of play. It'll be 2-2. Excited for these newcomers.
And I mean, what can't Owen do? Golfer, mentor, brings players in.
He's working on those golf skills. 2-2 runner goes for second. This one is swung on and lined out to left field. The play is going to be made by Triolo there. That is out number 3 as the Miners work through it here. Owen Lesh comes in and gets a quick out, but not before these Bucs tie the game at 4. We head to the 6th. This is Matsu Miners Baseball presented by Napa Auto Parts.
The score now 4-2.
We Alaskans like to ride hard, but we also like to work hard for our ride. That is why RC Detail offers our monthly detail club so that you can keep that showroom shine inside and out all year round. RC Detail is also the only G-Technic certified ceramic installer in all of South Central Alaska and are trained pros in the art of paint correction. Go to rc-detail.com to learn more because your vehicle deserves the best. RC Detail, it is all about the details. As we begin this 6th inning, the Bucs tied up there in the bottom of the 5th now, 4-4. Trey Triolo will stand in as the new hitter here, as we see Stanley remain in the game for these Bucs.
Mason Marinko not in the game anymore, of course, as he was pinch hit for.
As check swing there, appeal down to third, he did not.
Alex Champagne pinch hits. He comes in the game, plays second. Cody Graybeck from second to short. Cam McGee from short to third. 3 swaps.
As that one's going to miss. Now 2-1 the count. As that one's going to be called strike 2. That one is swung on and fouled out of play. It'll remain 2-2.
Another one brought to you by Nate James, New York.
Triolo battling here. The 2-2 swung on and softly hit, looping towards left field, as Bourne will come on and make the catch. That one stuck up a bit too long for Triolo. 1 away.
Trey, last time we played the Bucs here, 11 different defensive swaps that involved 5 substitutions. Yeah. We're up to 3, but we're in the 6.
I was going to say,
a little better.
We're getting there. We're not quite there yet. As the first pitch to Heidel, a fastball up in the zone, swing and a miss. Strikeout earlier in the game on a similar pitch. He battles here.
O'Cuff just loves to keep you on your toes.
That 0-1 is going to drop in there for strike number 2. Heidel spins out. Got to get reset here. Nobody on, 1 out in the top of the 6. Here's the 0-2 from Stanley. Fouls it away. Remain alive.
Have somebody commenting, Trey, they're looking forward to the earlier starting time the next few days. 6 o'clock, that start time, 1 hour earlier for Thursday through Saturday.
As the 0-2, check swing. Called strike 3. Stanley gets Heidel. It is out number 2 here. And I can agree with that, Howie. I think 6 p.m. is better for everyone. Get you some baseball to our East Coast viewers a little bit earlier. And everyone else.
And then Sunday will be prime time on the East Coast. It'll be 6 Eastern, 2 local.
Beautiful. Getting used to these earlier games on Sunday as Cade Manning's going to take a called strike. Outside corner there with the fastball.
When the Miners are at home, they play all their Sunday games at 4.
0-1, another fastball is going to miss high.
But that 2 o'clock start time, we'll see it a couple times in Anchorage as well before the season wraps up, 2 o'clock.
Love a good matinee baseball game. As the 1-1 is swung on and missed. It'll be 1-2.
However, the locals, Trey, maybe not so much, as now they're worried they're losing daylight, and winter is coming.
Yeah. We are past the solstice. As the 1-2 just got a piece of it to stay alive. I think we have a good bit of time left before we get there. Mid-October, late October is when we've heard it starts to get real around here.
Must be a strange feeling, though.
Now the 1-2. Called strike 3, the second in a row to close out the inning for Nico Stanley. As the Bucs keep it tied 4-4, we head to the bottom of the 6th. You are watching Matsu Miners Baseball, presented by Napa Auto Parts.
Some of our great sponsors include Lucky Wishbone, Alaska Brewing, King Street Brewing, and K&L Alaska.
You are watching Matsu Miners Baseball, presented by Napa Auto Parts. Time for the bottom of the 6th inning. Owen Lesh will remain on the mound, a quick out to close out the 5th. So Howie, let's take a look at our standings. To come into the night, the Miners just a game and a half up on the second place Pilots.
The Pilots are surging 9-2 in their last 11 games. These Bucs just 5 out now. 1 game under 500. Oilers and Chinooks struggling. Well down in the standings.
Got to protect this lead. Looking to do so with a win over the Bucs tonight, as that 0-1 is swung on a miss. Now 0-2.
So fun to watch Owen Lesh pitch. Fastball, slider, changeup, and just locates very well. Pitches to contact, gets the strikeouts he needs to. Just a really good pitcher and a even better person to be around.
So that one is chopped to the left side of the infield. Sinceri gives way to Pano. Throw on the run is in time. What a play by Josh Pano for out number 1.
Just makes difficult plays look so easy, does Josh Pano. I thought that Garrett Anglin was certainly going to beat that one out, but he couldn't do it. As we now have our answer to the trivia question of the night, which is, did Dylan Fesperman break his bat? He did. New bat. Green handle this time instead of the blue.
Might be green for good luck. And the first pitch, that one misses well outside. Lesh lost it.
Good luck for the Miners, right? Miners are sporting the green tonight.
Yeah. It might have put a curse on Owen Lesh. He's unable to hold on to the baseball now, 1-0. That one misses high. What do you think has gone into this run of success for Owen?
Owen is just locked in. He's a pitcher that is mature beyond his years.
As that one misses away now, 3-0.
He's somebody that he gives up the occasional hit, the occasional walk, but he never loses focus.
As the 3-0 is across the plate for strike 1.
I think you can certainly see that in his personality off the field. Calm guy, very nice. Doesn't let anything get to him, and it's led to a ton of success for him.
As the 3-1 is taken for ball 4. Fastball misses upstairs on Fesperman.
And the lowest ERA in the league among relief pitchers, qualified pitchers that, you know, let's say have at least 9+ innings under their belt.
Always plays comfortably. He's just having a blast. Said he wants to play well enough this year to get invited back next year. As the first pitch is swung on and fouled out a play by Max Ortega.
Attaboy. Double it up. Get 2 summers in the last frontier. With the way he's playing now, I don't know how you could deny this kid that opportunity. Wow.
And now the 0-1. Fastball misses outside. Heidel tried to bring it back. It'll be 1-1.
Not sure what's going on here for Owen, as all of his misses have been arm side.
The 1-1 now, and we see it again. Another miss away.
You could see it right there. His release seems to be a bit too early and a bit too far out to his left. The ball kind of flew out of his hand there. Yeah, that's what's been happening on these last few pitches.
The 2-1 now. We see it again. Miss away, 3-1.
It's almost as if he's not finishing his pitches, letting them go too early, not coming through with it. It's causing him to miss way off the plate, frankly.
There's a righty on lefty battle as the 3-1 is ball 4. And 4 consecutive misses to the outer half of the plate. Second walk in a row here with 1 out now. Runners on first and second.
Very uncharacteristic for Owen Lesh.
Yeah, we saw him look good when he first came out in the bottom of the 5th. Got a quick out. Started out this inning with much of the same. Now back-to-back walks. See if he can bounce back against Dylan Maltby, the DH. From the stretch, here's the first pitch. Another fastball that misses up and out.
I mean, that's 9 misses, Trey, all of them outside, and these aren't outside by a little. These are outside by a lot to these right-handed hitters.
We saw the first miss kind of slip out of his hand. It wasn't even close. Might have got his confidence off on the wrong foot. Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss. Needed that one as goes to the outside again. We see a string here of righty batters as well. Maybe he's a bit worried to attack them as a lefty.
Even that pitch was off the plate, but it was close enough and had really good off-speed action to get Maltby to chase it.
The 1-1 now. In the dirt, blocked up. It'll be 2-1. Ortega and Fesperman, the two base runners here for Anchorage. In the bottom of the 6th. 4-4. It has been a beauty of a game tonight. And now a 2-1 count for Maltby. Lesh will step off.
I like that from Owen. Try to get a reset here. He's throwing pitch after pitch after pitch. Continues to miss outside. Something to calm him down.
The 2-1 now. Fouled away. It'll be 2-2.
Could see him that time. His release point came more towards the heart of the plate. Followed through. And finally got something over the Pentagon.
And how big was it for him to get that first out with nobody on? You get a strikeout here.
And a good play by Josh Pano nonetheless. Don't forget, that was a tough play.
Oh, yeah. The 2-2. Swung on and skied in the air to right field. Avila towards the line. He's going to camp under it. He makes the catch as Fesperman is going to fake the tag. He will remain at second. And a big timeout for Owen Lesh here in the bottom of the 6th.
Smart by Fesperman to, quote-unquote, fake the tag that time, which consisted of him walking one step off the bag. We've already seen Blake Avila one time this year gun down someone who faked the tag too much and was caught napping. Caught with a 9-6 double play. It's the last thing you want if you're Fesperman.
You always want to see if you can get a read, test the arm a little bit, but no reason. Like you said, how would you get caught sleeping there? Fesperman is back, along with Max Ortega. He stands on first. Chad Bourne, the 9-hole hitter now. And the first pitch, fastball misses high. A 1-0 count here on Bourne as corners back up. That pitch is in the dirt. Now 2-0 it'll run on the left fielder. Lesh has been key in middle inning situations throughout the season. Haven't seen Nate Roka, Cole Towson in quite some time. As the 2-0 is going to miss upstairs now, 3-0. Expect to maybe see them. But we also know Tyler LeBrun wants to keep this bullpen rested for the long trip to Kenai.
That is how we would like to line it up in an ideal world, I believe, though.
Now the 3-0 misses outside a 4-pitch walk here. The third of the inning, and now the bases are loaded with 2 outs.
With the bases loaded and 2 outs, up steps shortstop number 8.
Really interested to see, as time is called here, pitching coach James Dillard will march to the mound to talk with Lesh. Very interested to see what changes here, as now Lesh gets to face a left-handed hitter for the first time in Cam McGee.
Expect to see some more confidence. Nothing else.
Unfortunately, though, with Lesh's misses, could have the potential to hit Cam McGee. Many of his pitches that had missed off the plate way wide would have hit left-handed batters. So Dillard trying to calm him down. He's issued 3 walks in the inning. A great game to this point. 4-4. Each team with 2 two-run frames.
It's been a fun one. We've seen answers in this game. 2-out offense and some good pitching as well. A few strikeout runs. But now the base is loaded. Here in the bottom of the 6th inning, Cam McGee out of Arizona State steps in. 2 outs. Owen Lesh trying to clean it up. The first pitch. Curveball, big swing and a miss.
McGee was looking fastball, did not get it. I mean, he was selling out on that one.
Took a step down the first base line. He'll have to step back in. Now 0-1. That one is swung on and missed. Another curveball catches him off guard. 0-2. Runs Cam McGee.
McGee looks baffled at the moment. Nowhere close on the first two. Now we'll see if Flash tries to play a fastball up in the zone.
Plated 14 runs this year as the Sun Devil. He has the bases loaded and 2 outs. The 0-2. Down the middle, called strike 3. As Owen Lesh will hold those base runners right there. This game will remain tied at 4 as we head to the 7th inning. This is Matsu Miners Baseball presented by Napa Auto Parts.
Three left on. We'll head to the top of the 7th. The score is still Miners 4, Bucs 4.
Okay. Oh, it's let me go attack him.
Could have been a fake by Heidel though too.
Could have. We begin the 7th inning. Your score 4-4 as the Miners will return to bat and Howie Boxley will return to play-by-play as I turn it over for the final 3 innings of this game. Howie, you're in a new chair. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great, Trey. It's been a great game to this point. Excellent calls through the heart. As it's Miners 4, Bucs 4, and the top of the order for Matsu, Casey Sunseri. He scored twice. He's got a double. Nico Stanley delivers low to Casey Sunseri, team leading 27 hits, team leading 18 runs for Casey Sunseri, who leads off in this game. Again, no Carter Young, suspended. 1-0, back up the middle. That's going to get through. It's another hit for Casey Sunseri, who leads off the inning with a 1-bagger.
That ball just hit so cleanly, not extremely hard, as the pitcher Nico Stanley tried to barehand it. Unable to do so.
Josh Pano, the batter now. Sunseri on first represents the lead run as we're in the late innings now at Mulcahy Stadium. Hitting an RBI for Pano to this point, 1 for 3. First pitch, lashed out of play. Much needed single for Josh Pano. Chased home Sunseri in the 5th inning. Just poked the ball through the right side. Was really just trying to move Sunseri over.
Yep. Gets
rewarded with an RBI hit. Maybe something to get him off the schneid. Good lead for Sunseri over at first. Held on by Fesperman. Stanley delivers. Runner goes. Pitch swung on and popped up. Sunseri will have to retreat. And he can slow down a bit as that ball falls harmlessly out of play.
That one kept drifting towards the line, and it was going to be interesting to see if the right fielder Michael Diaz even made an attempt for it. With the runner going, that ball hit so high in the air. Would have been awkward if he had caught it. Sunseri might have had a chance to get back in tag, but would have been a tough play from first. We'll take the strike.
0-2. Driven hard into left field. Back-to-back hits for the Miners. Right guy, right time. It's going to be Blake Avila coming up with 2 on and nobody out. He's our Who's Striking Gold feature presented by Alaska Mining and Diving Supply.
Blake Avila has been striking gold all season. We saw it again against the Glacier Pilots. Drove in a few more runs, and unfortunately, Howie, we're talking about Who's Striking Gold after another loss, but there were heroes in that game for the Miners squad. Blake Avila was certainly one of them as he strikes gold on Monday night.
He's 3 for 4 in that game with 2 runs and an RBI. To this point in this game, he's 0 for 2. He's walked. He's scored a run. He's lined out to left field, grounded into a 4-6 fielder's choice. Huge spot in the game. Stanley brings it. Bounces up there. Good block by Ortega. 2 fast runners aboard Trey. If the Miners want to try to do anything on the base pass, could even potentially see a bunt. It's your best hitter, but that is the lead run out at second base. Got to get him home.
We've seen Tyler LeBrun strategize with the bunts a good bit this season. Tough spot here, though, with your 3-hole hitter.
1-0. Swinging a high fly ball, shallow left center field. Garrett Anglim is racing in, and the center fielder takes over in left field, makes the catch. Way too shallow to advance, 1 out.
And that just missed that one. Is kind of tries to hit it back up the middle there. But hey, I think you'll take the bat of Alex Vergara. Next man up.
You will certainly take the bat of Alex Vergara. Alex Vergara has taken the bat to the baseball 3 times in this game. 3 hits for Alex, an RBI, a double, a couple of singles, and a run scored. He's up with 2 on and 1 out here in the 7th and a 4-4 game. Stanley checks on Sanseri. First pitch. Good cut, fouled straight back. Vergara just on everything right now. The baseball probably looks like a beach ball up there.
I don't think we've taken the chance to give a proper congratulations to Alex. He has committed with Lipscomb University in Nashville. He'll begin there this fall.
Great point. You and him will be living it up there.
Music City.
0-1. Bounces up there, and another good block by Ortega. If you were with us in the first inning, Max Ortega let a ball get away on a strikeout of Sanseri. Looked innocent enough, but Sanseri was able to score on a double by the guy who's batting right now, Alex Vergara. Sunglasses for Alex as the sun slowly descends in Alaska. The 1-1. And instead, Stanley kicks his leg high, backs up off the hill, and chases Sanseri back to the second base bag.
Seagulls going to come back to Mulcahy now.
Stanley kicks 1-1. Runners go. Pitch swung on and driven down the right field line. It's going to be out of play. Great jump by Sanseri and Peno. They will have to head back.
That corner of the right side grandstand is a haven for foul balls right now. We've seen 3 there. The last few at-bats. I think those kids are racking up down there.
Vergara behind 1-2. The pitch. Chopped foul. Just does a great job of battling, hanging tough. And he's delivered a ton of 2-strike, a ton of 2-out blows, has Vergara. Hits with 1 out here, but down to his final strike.
Yeah, and a couple of 0-2 counts again tonight. Just worked into hits. Just finds a way.
1-2. Just missed. Levante Palmer didn't raise his right arm this time. Vergara stays in it.
Yeah, that's a close pitch there. Good eye by Vergara. Gets it back to even now.
2 on, 1 out. Stanley settled in pretty well, pitching in his 3rd inning. 2-2. Runners go. Pitches hit pretty well into center field. That's going to chase Garrett Anglim back. He's going to have plenty of room. He's going to make the catch. Sanseri able to get back to the second base bag. A line out for Vergara. 2 outs now in the 7th.
Yeah, can't do it all if you're Alex Vergara. That one just off the inside of the hands. Kind of stabs it into center field. Thankfully hit a little bit deeper than I think I originally realized as Sanseri. Got about 3/4 of the way to third. Able to get back, though.
Suddenly hot bat and Nick Sorelli stands in. Miners trying to break through in the 7th. The pitch. Misses downstairs. Sorelli. RBI single. Fly out to the wall below the scoreboard in the 3rd inning. and a hot shot double off the left center field wall in the 5th inning. So he's hit the ball hard 3 times. It's resulted in 2 hits, 2 RBIs. 2 on for him here. Takes low. If Stanley doesn't want anything to do with Sorelli, he would get Nathan Rose, who is in the on-deck circle. Rose is 0 for 3 and has a batting average below the Mendoza line at this point. So we'll see if Stanley gives anything to hit to Sorelli. 2-0. Fastball pops the mitt. Called strike.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to give him anything on the inner half, at least. Maybe a few more like that. Tries to attack the outside, but the league is taking notice to Sorelli's ability to drive the inside fastball.
It's a dangerous game to play, though, if you miss. 2-1. Wow. That pitch was way off speed. Nabbed another corner, 2-2. I don't think Sorelli expected that. Almost an eephus pitch from Stanley.
Just kind of sat up there on a string.
Sorelli knew it was coming. He probably could have hit it 450 feet, but of course he didn't. 2-2.
Speed him back up here.
Swing and a shot into center field right at Garrett Anglem. Sorelli scorches another ball. Not rewarded this time. The Miners get back-to-back hits to start the inning. Can't cash them in. It's time to stretch it out and eat some Cracker Jack at Mulcahy Stadium. It's a great game. Bucs 4, Miners 4. Matsu Miners Baseball on YouTube, presented by Napa Auto Parts. Bottom of the 7th, Bucs 4, Miners 4, and another call to the bullpen for head coach Tyler LeBrun. He'll go get a very good arm in Nate Roka, who is one of 2 remaining Miners to not allow a run to this point, making his 8th appearance. He's only given up 3 hits, walked 10, struck out 12. And as I said, Trey, through 8 innings, no runs allowed for Roka.
And he's worked out of some jams, too. I know his parents got to enjoy their time here in Alaska the last couple weeks, as we haven't seen Nate Roka in a little bit. Excited to watch him again here on the mound.
Last time we saw him 6 days ago against the Bucs, pitched the 9th inning in a loss for the Miners. Didn't give up anything. Walked 1, struck out 2. Cody Grayback bats against him to start the 7th and takes a pitch that misses low. The one and only knock that you could even have on Nate Roka at this point in the season. Maybe you would like him to throw a few more strikes. As I mentioned, he's walked 10 over 8 innings. Hasn't cost him yet, though. 1-0. Heidel, another good job to bring that one back. Such an underrated skill in the game. That is a skill at the moment with a human umpire, framing pitches.
Just kind of noticed this. I love how active Alex Vergara is in center field, bouncing around, calling out the strikes as they go.
1-1. Bounces up there. And he was calling his own shot in the first inning. Got the game started with a bang in the bottom half with a scorcher by Cam McGee. Went full out extension, Superman mode for Vergara In center field to Rob McGee.
It's a little bit off center here.
Fouled away by Graybeck.
I know Nate Roka's parents really enjoyed your Lackawanna joke, so maybe some more home high school related jokes on the way. I hope, at least, for my own enjoyment.
Cody Graybeck attends Baylor University. 2-2. Fouled away. Went to Midland Christian High School. Did Graybeck. Hit a ball up the middle his last time up. Picked up an RBI. That made it 3-4 at the time. Two. Swing and a miss. Ball caught by Heidel. Great job by Nate Roka. 1 down.
Nate Roka's fastball is elite, but that curveball, slider, whatever you want to call it there, gonna have to watch it again. But man, that thing is nasty. Breaks off the face of the earth. And as a lefty, I'm assuming that is a really hard pitch to hit. For anybody, really.
This will bring up Alex Champagne, another left-handed hitter. He pinch hit for Mason Marinko back in the 5th. Drove in the game-tying run. Good string pulled by Hoka. First pitch. Fastball outside. Very interested to see as we go down the stretch. Again, this is Roka's first appearance in 6 days. We'll see him a lot more regularly as things begin to wrap up, but I'm very intrigued to see how Tyler LeBrun plays the back end of the bullpen. 1-0. Just misses 2-0. Last time we saw Roka pitch, we saw Towson in the 8th, Roka in the 9th. Here, we see Roka in the 7th inning, and I get the feel that it might be more of a matchup deal for the head coach. 2-0. Just missed. Looked pretty good, but called the ball. 3-0. As, you know, sometimes it's a dangerous game to play. Guys get comfortable in what inning they are working, but, you know, sometimes the matchups can work and not have them set in a certain inning. As Roka's gone 3-0 to Champagne. Lost him. Ball 4.
Well, you know, you talk about even just the general back end of the bullpen, not just these two guys. Team has to be winning for it to line up like this. Look at the last 6 days. The Miners have gone and lost 3 out of 4. Nate Roka pitched 6 days ago. So you got to hope that they can get it back on track. You're able to get these guys their leveraged work. At least have some close games to get them the opportunity for.
Michael Diaz bats. Takes down and away. 5 straight misses for Rose. Fast runner on first base, and Alex Champagne represents the lead run. As we are getting late in Anchorage. Bottom of the 7th inning, 4-4 game. Healthy lead for Champagne. 1-0. Down and in. 2 balls, no strikes. Be interested to see if Champagne decides to take off here. Very friendly count to run, as Heidel wants time. Might talk to Roka about just that.
Yeah, I could see a pitch out here. Haven't seen the Miners do it too often this year.
Seems like a dangerous spot for a pitch out, though. Don't necessarily want to give Diaz a free ball and run it 3-0 on him. Maybe a pickoff, or maybe just a step up off the mound, see if he can catch Champagne napping.
Something.
Of course, the Bucs in the third base dugout, as paranoid of a game as this one is that these two teams are playing, they're thinking right along the same thing. Hokuff meets with Diaz, as they don't want to get fooled. So we'll see what happens. Count is 2-0 on Diaz with Champagne on first. Sorelli holds him on. Champagne takes his lead. Another half step. Not going. Pitches a fastball that pops the mitt. Strike 1.
And you just got to get through Diaz any way you can. Roka does not look quite as confident against lefties this year. Got to focus on the batter here.
2-1. Runner goes now. Pitch is grounded into the open hole on the left side. Picture perfect hit and run, as Champagne will take third on that. Wow. What a maneuver pulled by the Bucs here in the 7th.
Yeah, and look at that base running by Alex Champagne. Immediately looks up, sees that Triolo has a bad beat on it, is able to take third, and kind of interested there that Triolo didn't try him at third. Looked like he almost didn't see the runner heading for an extra 90. Was focused on keeping Diaz at first base, but not even a look over there. Now some real danger for the Miners.
Garrett Anglum will be the batter. Lead runner on third. Anglum scored a run. He's 0 for 3. Reached on an E4 in the second. Fly out, ground out. Infield playing back up the middle. Double play depth. In on the corners. 2-1. Excuse me, first pitch to Anglum. Ball outside.
Yeah, you have to hope that Roka can figure this out. He is not allowed to run this season. It's a timely spot. Give up his first.
1-0 to Anglum. Called strike. Roka's been so good at battening down the hatches whenever he gets in trouble. Last time we saw him, he came in with the bases loaded, stranded him just like that. Runners on the corners here. And a 1-1 pitch to Anglum. Runner goes from first. Pitch is a called strike. Heidel fakes the throw down. He doesn't want to risk Champagne coming home from third. Stolen base for Michael Diaz.
Yeah, I agree with that there. Now 1-2 count as well. If you can finish off the batter, you take your chances with runners on second and third. No reason to try to make a crazy play at the second bag. And for Roka, he's going to have an infield in here. Gotta keep it low.
2 men in scoring position. He's ahead of Anglum, a ball and 2 strikes. The pitch. Swinging a fly ball into shallow center. Vergara racing in. Pano is going to make the catch instead. No chance for Champagne to tag, and a huge second out here in the 7th.
Surprised that Pano was the one that ended up making that catch. I know he has priority in that situation, only a few feet into the outfield, but Alex Vergara comes in with his momentum there. You'd think he would ultimately become the louder voice, knowing that he could make a throw with a little bit more on it.
It is an extremely long run, though, for Alex Vergara, and with how shallow that was, if Champagne tried to score with the accuracy of Pano's arm, probably would have been a death sentence for him at the plate.
Really hit in an awkward position with the infield end. Thankfully, the play is made.
Dylan Fesperman bats. Chance for Fesperman, who has gone deep a couple of times on the minors this year. Infield back at normal depth. The pitch. Good one. Strike one.
You wonder if it's a pitch count thing here, too. If Roka's able to wrap it up and get out of here in relatively efficient fashion with the way it started. If he gets to see some of the 8th.
0-1. Fouled away. Roka, way ahead of Fesperman, can do whatever he wants. We'll see if he goes to his breaking ball now. It is a wicked one, as Trey has already mentioned. 4-4 game. Fesperman waves his bat through the zone. 4, now 5 times. Pauses, holds it over his right shoulder, waves it around up there. 0-2. Yanked off the plate.
Yeah, not a bad idea to waste one. Change his eye angle and let him see something off speed. I think he's going to go back to the fastball here. Try to attack him up in the zone.
Roka dangles his right arm down around his right knee. Sets at the letters. 1-2. Fouled away. Fesperman late on that, but just early enough to get wood on it. Stays alive.
And that one, pretty obvious there what he was trying to do with him. That's what's so beautiful about a situation like this. He knows he's going to bring his best fastball. Fesperman just has to win the battle. It truly is a one-on-one situation in this game.
Roka stares down Fesperman. Brings a 1-2. Swing and a miss. He got him. Huge strikeout for Nate Roka, 2 in the 7th. Couple runners stranded. Bucs 4, Miners 4. Matsu Miners Baseball on YouTube, presented by Napa Auto Parts. Top of the 8th, and an excellent baseball game from Mulcahy Stadium. Nate Roka pitches in and out of trouble in the bottom of the 7th, keeps this thing tied at 4, turns it back over to the offense, and Nathan Rose, who leads off the 8th inning against Nico Stanley, who took over in the 5th inning, and an interesting substitution for Owen Wild, who had 8 strikeouts through 4. Stanley gave up a couple runs initially, but since then is locked in. First pitch to Rose, he shows bunt and takes low. Third baseman Cam McGee was playing way back, came charging in, but the pitch was not close. Ball 1.
Yeah, how about this effort? Guy that came in, allowed 2 runs, surrendered the lead.
1-0, up and in, 2-0.
Just got him here. He's now kept this game tied for 3 innings.
Pitched into some trouble last frame, but was able to strand a couple of runners. Couple of hard lineouts for the Miners. 2-0. Swinging a pop-up. Right side of the infield. It's going to be Alex Champagne, who makes the catch for out number 1.
Well, the Miners have had no answer since that 5th inning.
Miners scored 2 runs in the first inning, aided in large part by a passed ball that allowed Sinceri to reach on a strikeout. A couple of 2-out knocks by Vergara and Sorelli. Bucs answered in the 2nd inning. 2 RBI double from Maltby, costly error in that frame for the Miners. Triolo bats now. Takes a called strike 1. The Miners tacked on 2 in the 5th on Stanley. Just mentioned that. RBI hits from Josh Payno and Nick Sorelli. 0-1. Outside corner, 0-2. Bucs answered right back in the bottom of the 5th. Scored on an RBI groundout by Cody Graybeck, and the pinch-hitting Alex Champagne picked up an RBI single to tie the game. That's where we stand now. 0s in the 6th and 7th for both teams. As Triolo waves and misses, pitch in the dirt. Peg will be made by Ortega, step on the bag by Festerman. Quickly 2 outs here in the 8th.
Yeah, this is Stanley's game at this point, and kind of wonder where we're going to see a break in the action. Who is going to come through, and both teams have had an opportunity now. It's just been in the hands of these pitchers who have cleaned it up.
Brandon Heidel, the batter. Takes an off-speed pitch that floats in for strike 1. Left-hander warming down the left field line for the Bucs. That is Jackson Brockett. Miners bullpen quiet, so expect Nate Roka again. Heidel lashes this one into shallow right field. That is going to be caught by Alex Champagne near the cut of the turf and the grass. 1-2-3 go the Miners in the 8th. Bucs 4, Miners 4 as you watch Matsu Miners Baseball on YouTube, presented by Napa Auto Parts.
Some more of our great sponsors.
Bottom of the 8th, Bucs 4, Miners 4. Nate Roka continues on as he will try to get the Bucs hitters to go fishing. But Trey, a lot of fishing down on the peninsula. That's where the Miners are headed next.
They are. As we take a look at our next 3 here, we're going to be seeing a lot of this Oilers club as the Miners take their yearly trip down to the peninsula of Kenai. We had somebody asking, will we have time for halibut cod fishing? Yes, we will, and we're going to have some time for baseball. It will be a bit earlier, as we mentioned, 6 p.m. Here in Alaska time. That's 10 p.m. for our East Coasters, so not that much earlier, but we hope you join us for a lot of fun down there on the peninsula in Kenai. 5 games beginning tomorrow night.
Max Ortega leads off in the 8th as this has been an excellent game so far. Ortega walked twice. He's flown out. So many parallels in this one, Trey, as the Bucs and Miners have swapped 2-run frames 2 times. Called strike on Ortega. Both teams have been set down in order 3 times now in this game. Miners set down 1-2-3 in the 8th.
It's some great games between these two all season.
0-2. Fastball high. Miners have bested the Bucs to this point for the most part. They are 5-1 on the year, 2-0 here at Mulcahy Stadium. It's 5-5 at each place with each team. That's why we play 5 games in Kenai. 1-2 outside.
Saw one of those end in a walk-off walk. Seen a few trouncings as well, but been some good ones between these two rivals.
This Bucs team is surging a bit as well. 2-2. Outside 3-2. Could be a huge win if the Bucs are able to pick it up. They would be back at 500 for the first time in a while. They'd only be 4 behind the Miners if they could win this game and really right back in it.
Oh, yeah.
As this marks the halfway point, 3-2. Swing and a miss. Roka got him. 3rd strikeout for Nate. Out number 1 here in the 8th. Pete Christopher, general manager, did an excellent job with that. This is game number 20, halfway point of the season. And the Kenai trip falls right on the halfway point.
I love the scheduling, and it is nice to know we have 10, 10, 10, and 10. 10 games with each opponent this season. For a minute there, we thought it was 11 and 9 for the Anchorage teams, but got that sorted out, and now we are prepped for this big 4th of July weekend trip to Kenai.
Maltby bats, swing, and Heidel falls down on that as the ball got fouled off of him. Tyler LeBrun out to check on his catcher, who's quickly putting the mask back on and saying, I'm all right, but that didn't look like it felt too good.
Gives him a pat on the back there. I think this is a replay of what we saw on Monday. It looked scary at first. Just a cup check for Heidel. Not sure if that's the case again here tonight. Don't want to assume, but certainly getting his courtesy time.
Levante Palmer chatting with Nate Roka to allow Heidel to recollect himself. Dylan Maltby, the batter, went and said, "My bad," to Brandon, patted him on the back. Everybody
Nice gesture.
playing good sport here
Oh, yeah.
in a tight game. Bottom of the 8th inning, 4-4. 0-1 pitch to Maltby. Fastball high. Dylan has had himself a good game. He's 2 for 3. Had a double in the second that drove in 2. He's also singled, scored a run. Chad Bourne on deck. 1-1. That one is over the corner for strike 2.
Roka getting in a bit of a rhythm now. Had to battle with that first at bat against Ortega, but won it and now gets up in this one.
One-two pitch to Dylan Maltby. Outside. Heidel tried to bring that one back, but that one was just too far away.
Yeah, done a nice job with the framework tonight. We will not rehash our conversation on robotic umpires. Too late in this game. Not worth it this evening, but helping out with the human one tonight.
2-2. Swing and a miss. Nasty off-speed pitch that dives out of the zone. Strikeout number 2 in the inning for Nate Roka. 2 up, 2 down.
This is huge for this bullpen. Was one of the 2 keys to the game. Manage this bullpen well. Maintain this bullpen for the road trip to Kenai. That's what we've seen in this game. Nate Roka struggled a bit. Had to pick it up. Did so. In the 7th.
R.J. Elmore tossing some down the right field line. As Chad Bourne bats. Second time that the Miners have seen Bourne. Check swing. Out of play to the right side.
We appreciate the kind words from Broken Arrow in the comments. Appreciate all of the support throughout the season. And I think we have a call to action here. Only way we pull this one out is if the announcers get fired up. Come on, guys. Let's do this. We'd like to.
0-1. Swinging a high pop. This is going to be an easy inning for Nate Roka once Nathan Rose puts the squeeze on that. 1-2-3 go the Anchorage Bucs in the 8th. We're off to the 9th. Miners 4, Bucs 4. Don't go anywhere. Matsu Miners Baseball on YouTube presented by Napa Auto Parts. Top of the 9th, Miners looking to take the lead and close it out on the Anchorage Bucs and Nico Stanley, who continues on. Matsu will have Cade Manning, Casey Sunseri, and Josh Pano here in the 9th as they try to get a win in their final at-bat. Cade Manning will dig into the left-handed batter's box. He struck out a couple times in this game and laid down a successful sacrifice trying to get something started for the Miners. First pitch. Misses low. That was an awkward catch job by Max Ortega, who was out of his crouch to catch it. Called the ball. Nico Stanley pitching in his fifth inning now. 1-0. Grounded out to second. Alex Champagne fields that on a backhand. Strong throw. Vesperman grabs it for out number 1.
You want to avoid the runner on second base, extra inning rules if you can if you're the Miners being on the road here. Some teams thrive in that situation, getting it first, but you'd love to be able to punch a run across here. Just get 3 outs and get out of here.
Nico Stanley has now retired 7 Miners in a row. However, Sunseri and Pano reached on him their last time up. It was a single up the middle for Casey. The first pitch. Swing and a shot out to third. Fielded on one hop by Cam McGee. He throws across in time. 8 in a row set down by Nico Stanley. Quickly, 2 outs here in the 9th.
And these have been quick outs too, Howie. It's not grinding at bats. No web gems. Just easy ground balls and quick ones.
Josh Pano, 2 for his last 2 at the plate, 2 for 4 in the game. Knocked in 1. Drove 1 past third and short his last time up. First pitch. Down and away. You would figure that Stanley would run out of gas at some point, but to this point he hasn't.
It's gotten better as it's gone on.
Really has. Just settled in nicely. Maybe this was planned all along for Hokuff. 1-0. Drops in for a called strike. Of course, it's 2 righties, though, but it's almost as if Hokuff was ready to have Wild pitch half the game, Stanley pitch half the game, and it's worked out not bad. They've held the Miners to just 4 runs, which is pretty good. 1-1. Fouled away.
It's almost like a modified opener tonight. We saw Wild for those 4, and now 5 for the reliever, if you even want to call it that at this point.
Stanley, deep breath. 1-2. Off the plate outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes now on Pano. Stanley has struck out 3. He surrendered a total of 6 hits this point. Both runs in the 5th inning. 2-2. Swinging a ground ball up the middle. Pano's going to reach with 2 outs. 3 hits in his last 3 tries.
Yeah, good to see Josh get back on the hitting this evening. Getting hot here, and it's life for the Miners. Now 2 outs, we saw 2 outs scoring in the first inning. They plated those 2 runs. We saw it on Monday as well. Them scoring early in that game with 2 outs, but the offense tapered off, and now 2 outs in the 9th here. Let's see if they can find a resurgence with the first half MVP of this team, Blake Avila.
It's huge for Josh Pano, as following him is Blake Avila right now, Vergara, Sorelli. 3 of the hottest hitters in the lineup. Let's see what Avila can do with 2 outs. Fastball taken high. Blake just so calm, just does what he does. Likes to line the ball all over the place, hit gaps. Of course, we know he has the power. Team leading 4 home runs. Driven in 17, scored 15 times. Pano, decent speed at first, held on by Vesperman. 1-0. Nowhere near. 2-0. And if there's any point in this game where it is dangerous for Nico Stanley, now is it. You're trying to labor through your 5th inning of relief. You've given up a 2-out knock to Pano, and you have to face the gauntlet for the Miners and Avila, Vergara, and Sorelli. Good news for him, he only has to retire 1 of them to give his team a chance to walk off with 1 run. 2-0. Missed outside. 3-0. What great patience here by Blake Avila.
Yeah, for a strike zone that's been a bit wide throughout the evening. Nothing granted here in the 9th, and you know, it's a big spot, like you said, Howie, for Nico. But it's so cool for players to get this kind of opportunity during the summer. This is great experience for when he's able to return.
3-0. Avila taking all the way, and a high strike call by Levante Palmer. 3 balls and a strike.
Just got to get him home any way you can.
Cole Townsend warmed up for the Miners. Might see him in the 9th inning, especially if the Miners have the lead. 3-1. Fastball catches the outside corner. Good rally by Stanley, who's run it full.
Yeah, Blake Avila wants to hit. I don't think that's a problem. That one borderline on the outside.
Vesperman retreats from the first base bag. Pano will get a huge lead and go on the pitch. It's 3-2 with 2 outs. If Avila can hit a gap, Pano might be able to score from first. Payoff. Swinging a shot down the left field line. That one's curling left of the foul pole into the Bucs bullpen, where the catch is not made by Jackson Brockett.
Oh, man. Wonder what those numbers look like on fielding percentage in that bullpen. Have a long time to see it coming.
Yeah, Brockett threw his right glove up. The left-hander deflected off of it. In air on Brockett, and he's not even in the game. That's tough. Another 3-2 pitch. There goes Pano. Pitch is driven to center field. Garrett Anglim chasing back, still going, and he slows and makes the catch. Anglim turned around a bit, but he's able to catch it ultimately. We're off to the bottom of the ninth. Bucs with a chance to walk off. It's 4-4 as you watch Matsu Miners Baseball on YouTube, presented by Napa Auto Parts. Bottom of the ninth, 4-4 game. Nate Roka will roll on and try to send this one to extra innings. He will face the top of the Bucs order. Anchorage just needs one run to win it, as Cam McGee will lead off. Trey, how do you feel about the decision of Tyler LeBrun leaving in Nate Roka after some laborious 2 innings for him?
I like this. You know, I think this is a way to really stretch the bullpen here and get them off on the right foot as they get set to head to Kenai. You have Towson available still. I think the strategy right here, obviously, if you can get through the ninth, would then be to go to Cole Towson. RJ Elmore's still warming up down there as well, so some options for the Miners, but you can at least save one of the arms. For Kenai,
he's trying to save Cole Towson for a save opportunity. As you mentioned, of course, this is not one, but Nate Roka trying to save the game. As Cam McGee will bat to lead off. Right on left. McGee takes low for ball 1. What a great game. Miners scored 2 to start in the first. Bucs answered. 2 runs by both teams in the 5th inning. That's the last time we've seen a run cross the plate. We're in the 9th now. 1-0. Check swing. Ball misses high. McGee did not go around. 2 balls, no strikes.
That one way up and in there on him.
Jackson Brockett is sat down. Ryan Delgado up from the third base dugout. He might start tossing as he works his way to the bullpen. 2-0. Misses low, 3-0. Something makes me think that Jackson Brockett is probably loose. Surely Nico Stanley wouldn't go out for the 10th. You wouldn't think. 6 innings in relief?
There's no way. If he is, it's almost a white flag for this Anchorage team.
Right now you got to worry about the 9th, though. 3-0. There's a strike. What a job by Nico Stanley, though. He is giving his team a chance for sure. Held the Miners in check for the last 4 frames. 3-1. And he lost him. Puts on Cam McGee, leadoff hitter, fast runner, and trouble in the 9th here for the Miners. Trey, you're adding in even more sound effects, man. You got a really cool, loud motorcycle for us right there.
I'm just trying to make it hard on these Anchorage hitters. That's all. But no, it's unfortunate there. Leadoff walks are always killer in this situation. Now, you would have a runner on second base with nobody out in extra innings, so you can live with the situation. It is workable here in the 9th.
Time is going to be called. James Dillard is going to slowly walk out from the first base dugout, meet atop the turf mound with Nate Roka, his arm, Brandon Heidel, his receiver. Cody Graybeck will meet with head coach Ken Hocuff, who is also the third base coach. They'll chat. And really interesting spot here, Trey. Two fast runners. Cam McGee on first. Grayback the batter. Of course, McGee's the one that matters. If he crosses, Bucs win the game. Do you think we see a bunt, a hit and run? Does McGee try to steal? What is Ken Hokuff thinking right now?
You know, this is such a tough spot. And we've seen them strategize against these minors. Some of it's worked out, some of it hasn't. We saw an instant substitution in that 10-inning game. But I think right here, you just have to kind of try to play small ball. The minors did have 6 errors in this ballpark earlier in the week. Make them earn it. Make them get these outs. You already have the runner on.
Just 1 to this point for the Miners, who have doubled the Bucs up in the hit column. They have 10. It's tied where it matters. It's 4-4. Third baseman Sanseri is in right now. Sorelli holds on McGee. First pitch to Cody. Shows bunt. Pushes it. Foul past third. So, you see the strategy. Sanseri was in at third. Graybeck tried to lay it down there. If he would have got it down, would have advanced the winning run into scoring position.
I like the strategy. I think that's the way to do it. You got a lefty in there as well. He can put some pressure on getting down the line.
Roka checks on the runner. Brings the 0-1. Graybeck shows bunt again. Gets it down. It's a good one. Roka's going to field it. He's going to throw to first. Not in time. Indecisiveness by Nate Roka and Brandon Heidel is going to cost the Miners. It's a bunt single for Graybeck. Winning run down to second.
Now things get extremely dangerous. And another lefty, another speedster in Alex Champagne. Another primetime opportunity to bunt the ball. I think they'll do just that.
All kinds of speed. Infield is going to come in at the corners. It's almost certain that Champagne's going to bunt here. Checked in the game in the 5th inning. Delivered the RBI single that tied it. Best play Ken Hokuff has made to this point in the game. Winning run, Cam McGee on second.
His corner's in. The middle's going to stay back, though.
First pitch. Champagne, no sign of a bunt. And he takes an outside corner strike. Wow, can't believe Alex didn't square around right there. All he has to do, bunt it past the pitcher, bunt it to third, will assure Cam McGee can make it. No sign of it on the first pitch. Roka stares him down, sets, checks on McGee, delivers, shows bunt now, pushes it foul. Now he's down to his final strike. Nate Roka with flame-throwing stuff. If Champagne does that again, of course he's out.
Yeah, and this is the situation you wanted here if you're Roka. Worked out of a jam in the 8th. Saw that coming. But the fundamentals are everything, Howie, and Champagne not able to execute them there. Nice stuff from Nate Roka.
Nick Sorelli backs up. Sanseri's still playing even with the bag. 0-2. And instead, Roka spins around trying to get Champagne to tip his hand. Of course, Alex could still bunt. With 2 strikes, it just becomes much more dangerous. If he pushes it foul, he would be strikeout victim number 5 for Roka. Oh, 2. Swing and a pop-up down the left field line. That will chase its way into the seats.
Yeah, tension building here in Mulcahy Stadium, and Nate Roka's not phased. Takes his time, stays in his rhythm here. He's patient. Still attacks his zone.
Michael Diaz waits on deck. Roka tucks the glove under his left arm, twirls the ball around his knee, sets at the letters, delivers the 0-2. Check swing. No swing, says Ryan Gill, as the ball just missed the inside corner.
Yeah, it was close, and don't know exactly where it crossed, but it looked like it might have been high enough. A lot of break there.
I agree. Pretty good pitch by Roka, but crossfired it a bit. And a ball called by Levante Palmer. Ready now for the 1-2. This one is going to skip away from Heidel. No bunt needed. Winning run 90 feet away. Costly.
Yeah, these mistakes adding up here in the 9th. As the Miners have out-hit the Bucs in this game, but they have put a lot of pressure on after the Miners have made a mistake. And you wonder if that was a cross up there. Heidel kind of reacted awkwardly to the fastball. Now an intentional walk here.
Smart strategy by the Miners in this situation. It's not the one you want to be in, as they're going to have to intentionally walk Alex Champagne with 2 strikes. It's a tough decision. You have him down to 2 strikes. You could roll the dice and have Roka try to strike him out, intentionally walk Michael Diaz, but probably the right decision. You get the force at every base now. The infield will have to play in. All Michael Diaz has to do is hit it past him, and the Bucs will win.
Bases loaded in the bottom of the 9th with nobody out is the impossible jam. Nate Roka has worked out of quite a few so far this year. This would be his ultimate feat.
Last time he came in the game, worked out of a bases loaded, no out jam. Has to do it again to preserve the game. First pitch. Bounces up there. This time blocked by Heidel. Anything that gets by, Cam McGee could scramble home. And of course, no place to put Diaz. Miners in peril in the 9th.
See the outfield shade up a bit as well.
The 1-0. Inside, 2-0.
Just got to take a deep breath here if you're Nate Roka. Reset. Find a way.
Diaz digs back into the left-handed batter's box. We'll see if he even swings at this. 2-0. Takes it. Called strike over the outside corner. Big pitch for Roka, who needed one there.
Yeah, way to bounce back and way to hit the outside corner. He missed a couple times. Makes an adjustment.
Roka sets the 2-1. Swing and a drive. That is going to win the game. Michael Diaz deposits it just in front of the wall. Cam McGee will trot home. He has to touch the plate, however. Levante Palmer will make sure he does that. Diaz, the hero in Anchorage.
Just threw him one that was hittable low in the zone. Kind of gulfs it out there. Plenty deep enough. And the Bucs, who have been walked off by these Miners one time this year, get them right back in the bottom of the 9th.
The Bucs get their revenge on the Miners and beat them 5-4. The Bucs, now 10-10 on the year, find themselves 4 games out. The Miners dropped their 2nd in a row. They've lost 4 of 5. They fall to 14-6 on the year. Michael Diaz, the hero, Trey. But who is your player of the game for the Miners?
This is so odd, Howie, but I have to go 3 games in a row. The same player, Alex Vergara. 3 more hits in this one. Drove home another run in the first to get the pace started. Obviously, this team unable to finish it off again here tonight. Unable to regain that lead after the 5th, but Alex Vergara kept it rolling. He is my player of the night. Who do you have, Howie?
I'm going to go with Josh Pano, as he picked it up. He had a number of strikeouts piling up on him, but he got 3 hits in his last 3 at-bats of the game, and a good sign for Josh Pano. Not the best sign for the Miners, as the Bucs walk them off here in this one, but hey, we'll get a reset, go down to Kenai, get some fishing in, and the Miners will be back at it tomorrow night. Again, your final score, Bucs 5, Miners 4, as we will join you from Kenai tomorrow at 6. For Trey Yanity, my name is Howie Boxley, signing off from Mulcahy Stadium. Have a great night, everyone.
Get your bear spray.